me how much longer and then grow stronger every day. How much longer? I thought I was in love a couple of times before with the girl next door, but that was long before I met you. I'm sure that I won't forget you. Thank my lucky stars that you are who you are, and not just another lovely lady sent down to break my heart. Isn't it amazing a man like me can feel this way? Tell me how much longer and it can grow stronger every day. We're live and we have sound and audio and stuff. If you haven't shared this stream with your friends, do it, because they might not know we're on tonight. Katie, whenever you feel you're ready, just let us know. Which I have a feeling she's doing, but I was just saying it just in case. All right, I will play it. My oldest song. We'll do anything for a super chat around here. And all this time we've spent together, we always hoped that it lasts forever. Now we must go our separate ways, leave behind our carefree days. Wherever we end up and wherever we may go, we will always remember, and we will always know that the friendships we made and the share. Never die, will always be there. And although we'll move on with our lives, I know this won't be our last goodbye. I don't think I'm a great songwriter, but at least this is better than anything in Moana 2. Did I say that out loud? Did I say that out loud? We've had some good times, we've had some bad. It's better than that new News Tonight theme, News Today theme. And all the time we've been, oh. Now we must go our separate ways. That was my Hamilton. And leave behind our carefree days. Wherever we end up, and wherever we may go, we'll always remember, I swear we'll start this show. The friendships we made and the memories we share never die, will always be there. And although we'll move on with our lives, I know this won't be our last goodbye. I know this won't be our last goodbye. I know this won't be our last goodbye. Oh man, I was just handed a rundown. You know what that means? We're getting close. Nick, is that a Savannah Bananas shirt? Have you seen them? Oh, I didn't know that. All right. I didn't know. I didn't know that was a thing. Do you? I know everything about the show months in advance. Each episode is carefully. Why not, Mark? I'll play it till we're ready. Bottle of white, a bottle of red, perhaps a bottle of a rosé instead. Get a table near the street in our old familiar place. You and I face to face. Oh, a bottle of red, a bottle of white. It all depends upon your appetite. Meet you anytime you want in our Italian restaurant. This is a sax solo if anybody brought a saxophone. Sax-a-boom works. Things are okay with me these days. I got a good job, got a good office, wife. I got a new life and the family is fine. Oh, we lost touch long ago. You lost weight and did not know that you could ever look so nice after so much time. Do you remember those days hanging out at the village green? The engineer boots and leather jackets, top blue jeans. Drop. You ready?
Am I on? Okay, we had no audio in here, so I wasn't sure. Tonight! Good news, the Star Wars Galaxy's Edge dessert party is returning to Disneyland. The bad news, your money goes to an evil empire even if one is defeated during the show. Yeah. The trailer is now out for Screamboat, a horror version of Steamboat Willie. In the film, a steamboat pilot goes insane after he's told his boat is being decommissioned for a dirt racetrack. It's the premise of the film. And Donald Duck is replacing Mickey Mouse at the character buffet at the Grand Californian, but knowing Disney, Mickey will just be brought back after Donald lies about the restaurant's finances. So, probably happened. They got it. There we go. They figured it out. You've read WDW News Today. Now it's time for WDW News Tonight.
Live from WDWNT celebration. There's Walt tonight. On Panelist and Nick tonight.
This is what we get for being on a day early and attempting to be on an hour earlier than that.
A polite golf clap.
Hello, I'm Tom Corliss, and I'm a mistake. Oh, now they like me this week. Okay. Please hit the like button and subscribe. If you're really enjoying this nonsense, you can leave a super chat here on YouTube. Your donations will be used to fix all the mistakes that we made in building this studio.
Ooh, too soon.
Too soon? Not soon enough, I'd say. Anyway, Nick, how's it going?
Fantastic.
You're wearing your Savannah Banana shirt.
Yeah, I'm representing.
You went to that was 2 weeks ago.
My first Savannah Bananas game. It
Yeah?
was the greatest thing ever. I wish I was there now.
Me too.
No, it was a great time. You need to go. It was
Yeah.
the best. It was the best.
Rob was asking before the show.
Yeah. Oh, it was the best time ever. You've probably seen the clips, right? Like.
coaches my Disney softball team loves the Savannah.
Yeah.
Always trying to get us to go to the games.
Yeah, I've been watching the clips forever. I was like, this is insane. And you go to a game, it is a giant party. It is the best thing. And, you know, I love it. I love it so much.
Yeah.
It's the only way I want to watch baseball now. I went to a regular spring training game 2 days later, and I was like,
You left like halfway.
oh, this is boring. Where's the giant guy in stilts, like pitching the ball? Like,
It takes longer for an MLB game to get going than it takes us to get going.
yeah, maybe. We need a pitch clock.
A
Like
pitch
joke
clock?
We need a joke clock.
A joke clock?
Yeah,
Please no.
you got to make a joke every so many seconds, or
Wow.
else there's a violation.
Why start now? Rob, how's it going?
It's going, man.
Yeah.
It's going.
Rob played for like 3 hours last week. So we had to cancel due to technical issues last week. And so Rob, we had a big audience. Rob played for 3 hours in here. I gave museum tours and no one asked for a refund.
That surprised me. I was amazed.
Several people when they left were like, you guys did everything right. I thought that was very sweet. That was very sweet that people were like, we know how to entertain Disney fans. Even if the live stream won't work, we'll figure it out, you know. Tonight, I don't know what happened. I think we would have pre-taped this and given it to you later. At this point, the clock is ticking. I'm out of here 6 a.m. Friday morning. We got to get March Madness done one way or another. That's why tonight we're on 8. We'll pretend we were on at 8 p.m. On Wednesday, we're on 8 p.m. tomorrow. First time ever, 2 nights in a row of News Tonight. It's never happened before. We've never done.
Let's go for 3.
It hasn't happened yet.
Oh, sorry.
You could do one without me Friday if you'd like.
No one will show up.
Nick, you'd be the first person not to show up.
Oh, totally. I'm all in now, but like Friday, I'd be like, yeah, I can't make it.
I can't make it. I'll get a text from in California. I can't make tonight's show. Nick, there is no show tonight. Oh, never mind. Nice. Anywho, we have a lot of show tonight. Obviously, if you've watched a News Tonight March Madness episode before, you know we're going to be here for a minute, so we should probably get rolling. How about, is it time for the news? News. Yeah, news. No, it's not yet. Wait. No, stop the news.
Tease.
Okay. First things first. First things first. Now, this past weekend we had the WDWNT spring cleaning auction. How many of you watched? Got a lot of you. Did anyone win anything? What'd you get? A patch. Yes. What'd you get? Just a little toy. A little toy? Well, I hope you. What toy? The little Mufasa, the McDonald's toy. Was that the $1 that went for $1? Oh, 4. Sorry, that was not the lowest item. The universal cups were the lowest items. Oh. They were not from Pato's. Don't worry. Oh, Rob, I have a special cup for you to use this week. I don't know.
Oh God.
Rob, I got a special cup. Do you want to use this cup, Rob? Would you like to use this cup?
Yeah. Did you just get this? Is this the new one?
I just got it.
Yes, the cup that
Don't throw it. It's mine.
Oh boy, this it's made.
It says jelly rolls on it.
It's crafted so well.
It's just a sticker. Rob, Rob's uncomfortable. Don't worry, Rob. I'll make it up to you in the monologue. I promise. I promise. Okay. Now no, we're not doing the news yet. No, I'm just going to keep teasing it. We had the auction this weekend, and with the auction, there were several large items that we are getting rid of because we need to make room. The problem is 2 of these large items I always wanted to get on the show. For personal reasons, I wanted to get them on the show because I just thought they were ridiculous and it would be funny. And I've never worked them in. But then our accountant told me that we can't deduct them from our taxes if they've never appeared on camera. And so we don't have a lot of time for games tonight. So I decided we should do a special game tonight and tomorrow. We're going to use these 2 pieces and do what we call the WDWNT tax deduction game.
All right. Like, you need to explain the rules.
Hold
of
on,
the
the
game,
intro's
John.
not done.
Oh, they're still in. Yeah. One of those coins.
We can't tax deduct the intro if it doesn't
Nope.
fully run.
Gotta wait.
All right, you're good. Go ahead.
Nope.
Yeah, it's all.
Still going. There we
Nick,
go.
take it away.
All right, so the tax deduction game right here. We have this wonderful machine right here, and you see all these little icons here. So the object of the game is if you get 3 of these little lantern things in a row, you have to wear that lantern on your head the entire show. If you get 3 of these fans in a row, Billy will personally sit in the audience and fan you the entire show. If you get 3 cherries in a row, I will sit in the audience and feed you cherries the entire night.
No.
If you get this guy,
No.
oh, don't get that guy.
No.
You don't want to know.
We don't have time for this.
What do you mean?
Just pick someone from the crowd.
Okay,
Just pick
John.
John, come on, John.
That was totally
No, we
random.
don't have time. This has to be quick.
All right,
it's on camera.
whoa,
we get
whoa.
the deduction. John,
John.
come to
Oh,
this
come that
go
way. I
to
guess you
side
wanna-
with Nick.
What's
There you
going
go.
on here?
All right, John. There are 3 coins down there in the bottom.
Yeah.
So pick up those 3 coins and put them
How do you know the rules
in
to
the
this game?
slot.
Okay. Oh,
You gotta put all 3.
All
You gotta
three.
put all 3.
Oh, wow.
We're gonna give you
Big-
extra chances to
big
win.
spender.
That lights all of them up.
Okay.
Okay. So what you're gonna do,
Hit that
John?
little button.
Hit the lever,
Yep.
and whatever you
Swing,
end
swing,
up
swing.
rolling, we will give you in core bucks.
That's no
Okay.
fun.
Go
That's
ahead.
no
Let's go,
fun.
let's go.
You gotta hit the 3 buttons.
Which one?
See
These
those?
little
Yeah.
buttons.
Make money, no whammy.
Whoa!
Oh, you got nothing. Oh, it's 0
There's
core
nothing.
bucks. Oh, that's the game.
That's
That's
it.
it.
John. Thank you, John. Appreciate it.
Wow, Nick, that was another exciting game.
Yeah. Glad, yeah.
Did he get stuck in the mud going back to his seat?
He got stuck in the mud. If you landed on the mud, there would have been another round. But the mud didn't come up on there anyway. Wasting too soon. Someone yelled too soon for the mud. Let's get to the news, please. Please. It didn't play yet. Now. You didn't even do it. Nick didn't even do it. It's his thing.
I did it before he did it. I did it 3 times already
The
tonight.
news. At the end of a several hours long live stream, Marvel announced 27 members of the Avengers Doomsday cast. Yeah, it was like a team member unveiling their family for a preview of Epic Universe. Keep coming. Dun, 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 dun. They keep coming in. This is, yeah, never. Anyway, I won't name people. Yeah, that's why Robert Downey went like this at the end. He's like, don't tell anybody these are influencers. Shh, I'm not related to all of them. Yeah, the live stream was just of empty chairs, which is pretty much what my live streams from the parks looked like back in the summer of 2020. Just a live stream of empty chairs. That was COVID. No one was here, so the chairs were empty. Never mind. Anyway, Nick, hopefully your jokes tonight will do better. Nick wrote a couple of jokes tonight. We'll see if you can pick them out as we go along. We'll see. Walt Disney Company CEO Bob Iger ignored the previously announced Figment movie in answering a question about the character, but he teased a possible Figment series. Yeah. The series is of disappointments for fans regarding the character's use. Guys, I wouldn't worry. Every Disney Plus series I've seen has been better than a movie. It's not like they'll change the backstory of the character in ways we won't agree with or anything. They'll never do that in a Disney Plus series. Don't worry. The Detroit Tigers of Major League Baseball recently visited baby tiger Boxo at Disney's Animal Kingdom. Yeah, they invited Boxo to try out for the team during spring training, but realized he couldn't hit a curveball.
That was it.
That is our first Nick joke.
What?
That's the first one. He's playing the slot machine now. Don't use the other coins, they get stuck.
Oh, well.
Oh, well. Oh, so close. Jelly Rolls. Jelly Rolls announced details of their final farewell event at Disney's Boardwalk on April 19th. Jelly Rolls will close and move to a new location outside of... I'm joking. No, they won't. If that happens, I'll eat my shoe. Probably be better than any food that's been served inside of Jelly Rolls at any point in time. Either way. But after April 19th, when they close, I heard they're going to load all the pianos into a pink Cadillac and drive it away. Yeah. Seriously, though, they might have to do it themselves because supposedly they're going to make the movers pay a $22 cover charge to come inside and take the furniture.
They would if they could.
No thanks. I'll move Atlantic Dance instead. Anywho, in a TikTok shared by Demi Lovato, she's seen doing the famous Disney knees while being evacuated from Radiator Springs Racers and throughout other areas of the parks. The Disney knees is well known. It's a well-known stance often made by Disney Channel performers, which involves them leaning forward and bending their knees. I'm going to try to do it without throwing my back out. I think it's that. While performing or singing, they do that. This is not to be confused with the Disney heaves, which is a stance done outside of Tony's. I changed it a little.
You did. It was good.
That was Nick's originally. I changed it a little. Allison, please.
I paid Allison some of these coins to laugh at my jokes. Yes. Very
None
good
of
job.
those are real currency. We're aware of that, right?
She doesn't know.
Okay. She can't even reach the machine. It's too high up.
There you go.
Anyway. Disney revealed the completed Disneyland Paris scale model of the Pride Lands, home to Pride Rock. With how much the word pride has appeared here, I'm surprised people aren't yelling that this flume ride is woke yet. Just a little. You gotta worry with those flume rides sometimes. A little too woke. The Magnolia Golf Course has debuted Grumpy's Gauntlet. the new brutal 14th to 17th holes. Grumpy's Gauntlet is also what it's called if you make me first ride Fast and the Furious, and then Jimmy Fallon, and then Villain Con Minion Blast all in a row. The Grumpy Gauntlet. Geo82 at Epcot will feature a tunnel at its entrance. There'll be a tunnel. It's not a normal tunnel. It's one of those ones at the carnival that spins so they can see how drunk you are when you come in. Walt Disney World is introducing 50% discount on kids' theme park tickets this summer. 50% off, yeah. The deal was reportedly necessary since there's now one whole lounge children can't access. There's just not enough for kids to do at Disney World. They're like, if I can't go in that lounge, I'm not paying. In addition to that deal, free dining is coming back at Walt Disney World this summer. And I don't care if it's free. I'm still not eating at Tony's, even if it's free. Don't care. That's the news. Who brings us the news?
This program is brought to you by WIGS, the WDWNT Inner Globe Society. Support WDWNT to get early and exclusive access to content you can't find anywhere else, including exclusive post shows for WDW News Tonight and Park Center, access to our prize wall, a monthly Zoom with Tom, access to our Discord community, early access to our events, and much more, starting at just $2 per month. For more information, visit patreon.com/WDWNT or visit WDWNT.com and click the Patreon link. Join WIGS and unlock even more WDWNT.
Do we have any WIGS members here tonight? Thanks for being here. Let's see what's debuting this week on Disney Plus. What can we stream? Be sure to stream. You know, the day my pants blew up, it was the start of Flower and Garden. Same day every year. All right, please take it down. I beg of you to take the image down. Oh, no, there we go. Oh, man, what else is going on? Well, okay, we're ready for a commercial break, thank God. So tonight, we have a lot on the show tonight. Let me double check what we've got. We've got our Epic Universe update. When we come back, we're going to have an update on Epic Universe with our newest staff member. We're going to have psychotic comments. Yeah, Nick doesn't look excited about anything. Do you have psychotic comments?
Of course I do.
Oh, just makes the way you were like,
What?
huh? What else tonight? I guess, and then March Madness. Let's get going. We'll be right back after this in one of your ears.
With so much to do at the Walt Disney World Resort, it can get overwhelming for parents and kids alike. But sometimes, parents need a place to go and relax and get away from all the wild family fun. That's why we've created Geo82, a new lounge at Epcot exclusively for those 21 years of age and older. But if you have kids, how will you get in? Introducing the Disney Lounge Child Swap, coming this summer. Hand Jaden, Caden, Aiden, and Braden off to your spouse. Go enjoy a few beverages at the bar. Then, swap the drunken parrot in to the babysitting duties. Are you a single parent? That's okay. We'll provide a surrogate parent for you. Our highly trained, slightly vetted cast members will whisk your child away to some of our best new activities for kids, like the Play Pavilion. Our exciting new Mary Poppins. To maybe go see the manatee. Oh, we got rid of those. What do we have? Okay. To play for 3 to 4 hours in the final splash pad of Moana Journey of Water. Disney Lounge Child Swap. For parents who need to be drunk to take their kids on vacation.
Are you coming to Orlando specifically to see WDW News Tonight in person? Do you wish your experience could be more than just 8 hours on a Thursday night? Well, wish no longer with the ultimate add-on to your life highlight. The WDW News Tonight Character Breakfast is available on a first-come, first-served basis on Thursday and Friday mornings as either a precursor or follow-up to your incredible News Tonight live taping. For over 300 episodes, you have fallen in love with the totally original characters from the show. But now you can meet them and even get a picture with them. You never know who will show up to the meal for you and your loved ones. You could possibly have an unforgettable encounter with the Charmin of Song, Batbeard, the Pirate Bat, former CFO and Waistline Watcher Christine McCarthy, the hippo that Bob Chapek was petting, Russ the Robot, the Lobster Cake Mold, and many more. And be sure to bring your autograph book for a signature from your favorites. We know that character meals don't have the best reputation for cuisine, but we hired a world-renowned chef, so every bite will be memorable. Book your meal today by calling 407-WDIDNEY. The WDW News Tonight Character Breakfast, extending the mayhem into your morning.
When you wish upon a star, makes no difference who you are. Anything your heart desires will come to.
Travis Kelce, you and the Kansas City Chiefs just lost the Super Bowl. What are you going to do next?
I'm going to Fun Spot! Viva Fun Spot! Viva Fun Spot! Viva! Viva Fun Spot!
Well, I'm the king of the swingers, the jungle VIP. I reached the top, had to stop, that's what's bothering me. I wanna be a man cub, stroll right into town, be just like the other men, tired of monkeying around. We'll be doing, I wanna be like you, I wanna walk like you, talk like you too. You'll see it's true, and ain't like me. Gonna learn to be human too. Now don't try to kid me, man, 'cause I made a deal with you. But I desire man's red fire to make my dreams come true. You gave me the secret, man, come on, clue me what to do. Give me the power, man's red flower, so I can be like you. Well, Looby-Doo, I wanna be like you. I wanna walk like you, talk like you too. You know it's true, and ain't like me. Gonna learn to be human too. Gonna learn to be human too. Gonna learn to be human too.
guys, your boy Stan here, and it's time for an update on the world's greatest unopened theme park, Universal Epic Universe. Yeah, you can cheer. It's the best, right? We haven't even been yet. It's time to talk about everything we're hearing from the team member previews thus far. One person who visited told us it's basically 5 theme parks in one. Wow. Yeah, this park will finally put the rest of war between Disney and Universal, with Uni finally taking its rightful crown. And it's about time if you ask me. Universal is better at everything. They're better at managing crowds. Universal rides are way more efficient. Yeah, and furthermore, Disney is just for kids. Universal, like the name implies, is for everyone. Yeah. Okay now, fam, let's get to Epic. Celestial Park is a first-of-its-kind area. All the fountains flow down the center of the park, and then there's this big circular pond with lots of fountains spraying upwards and inwards. How cool and different is that? I've never seen anything like it before. Man, I heard the walkways are so wide that you'll never have to worry about a family with a stroller stopping right in front of you. Crazy. Then there's the rides in How to Train Your Dragon Isle of Berk. And they're totally unique to this park, like the water battle ride Fire Drill. Yeah, there's the spinning attraction, Dragon Racers Rally, and the Untrainable Dragon Show. So up till now, team members and family, i.e. bloggers they know, have only been allowed to share their photos taken by photography team members in the park or the merchandise that they've taken home. But with that being said, the entire internet has been taken over by Captain Cacao. He's an original character who's a seafaring bear. No theme park has ever thought of this type of character. By the way, have you seen this real photo of Frankenstein Manor? Look at this. This is not concept art. This is the real thing, taken from a place where you can't see the show building. You know, guys, I think seriously, Bob Iger is effed. Yeah, he's gonna have to just leave the Walt Disney Company after Epic opens. So inside this attraction, inside this building is Monsters Unchained, and the animatronics are reportedly insane. There's Frankenstein's monster, the Wolfman, the Mummy, and even Swamp Thing. One guest said, Monsters Unchained, that's real. One thing, someone said that. One guest said Monsters Unchained makes Rise of the Resistance and every other Disney dark ride look like they're made in black and white compared to it. And the ride's not even fully working yet. Imagine when it does. And Dracula, I heard Dracula got them grippers. Disney could never build a figure with feet like these. We can't show it. We have to charge if we show the feet. Now, fam, we got to get off the hype train for just a moment. I got to talk about something real serious. I'm hearing from folks about post-Epic Universe depression. The design in this park is a level of immersion we have never seen before. It's overwhelming in the best way possible. I've even been told it makes outside life boring. But fam, seriously, I'm going to leave you today with our most important rule of thumb. Never listen to opinions on Universal from people who've never been. And certainly don't waste your time arguing with such people. We don't need these parks getting any more slam than they're already about to be. Also, Epic Universe is better than Tokyo Disney Sea. Yeah. So anyway, stay epic, my friends. Till next time, hit like and subscribe.
Walt Disney presents
refurbishment with refreshed scenes and lighting. Scotty wrote, they didn't refresh the scene at the end to make a map read Gulf of America. What? Yeah. All right, next story. Another red flag fire warning issued for Walt Disney World, Universal Orlando Resort. John wrote in, they have more red flags than Michael Jackson Tinder profile. All right, but most of our comments were about this. New Spaceship Earth Lounge name announced, reserved for adults only. The Habakkuk, I don't know, I can't know what that name is, right? All right, adults only. Yeah, everyone knows that's why Walt Disney built Disneyland. Maybe they'll have adult-only strip clubs at the park next. One could hope.
You can just walk through that and see that.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, there you go. Wow, why do people have these weird names? At No Politiki wrote, well, this is a new lounge in the park already overrun with drunks. Should be enough to keep people from thinking about flying, fire-breathing dragons. Maybe not. I don't know. Psychotic, right? Psychotic, that's the point of these. At Davidage 3, right here is the start of the downfall of Disney. Once they start with adult-only spaces, it won't stop. I don't get how anyone continues with Disney Cruise Line with all their adult-only spaces. Yeah. Yeah, no. Head guy wrote in, just what Epcot needed, more alcohol. Will go nicely with the other 30 to 40 other locations in the park where you can get drunk at. With your kids. Roberto wrote, great, if they can only do the same adults only at Oga's Cantina on Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. I don't like having drinks sitting next to a stranger's annoying kid playing with her doll. It ruined the whole experience. How about... well... All right, next one. How many kids left in strollers parked outside the lounge will we see in the first year? I put the over-under at 10. Maybe.
Or unattended children in the Moana Journey of Water. Like, go ahead, kids.
There you go.
We can see you from the window. We can look down in and see you. It's okay. Go ahead.
And finally, Rocky Rocks. Adults like over 18 or over 21?
Nick, I told you not to comment.
Oh, boy. That's it. That's all I got this week.
Thank you, Nick. Those were pretty psychotic. Yeah. Anywho, what's next? Oh, we got to find out the Disney Parks incorrect fact of the week.
That we do.
Let's see what it is. Incorrect fact of the week. There are going to be 2 of them this week. Disney is closing so many attractions in preparation for when they'll have to close their parks fully and declare bankruptcy upon the opening of Universal Epic Universe. There's Bob Iger in the rain outside the closed Walt Disney World. It's okay. We'll give him a power-up band. He can go down to Epic. He'll be all right. Have a good time. All the Disney executives, you know what they do in Super Nintendo World? They just hit the coin block for like 4 hours. They're like, am I at $1 billion yet? Am I there? All right. That's enough. Let's take a look at the calendar. We have more of these. Actually, in fact, we have one tomorrow. Yeah, there's tomorrow's show. So join us again tomorrow at 8-ish. We'll be on around 8 o'clock. Tomorrow night,
Morning
the conclusion of
night?
March Madness.
Okay.
What was that?
I didn't know if it was a breakfast show tomorrow morning at 8
No, the
a.m.
character breakfast is tomorrow morning.
Okay.
But if you stay, and then we'll have March Madness after that. We're then on break until June. As part of a glorious 3-day finale, we'll have our Muppet Vision 3D themed episode on June 5th. On June 12th, the Family Feud is back. And on June, what is that? I can't read for it. June 19th, Randy Newman will be back with us for It's the Ride of Your Life. So they're like, just have him every episode. These other
Right.
ones are terrible. Don't do other characters. They're dumb. But there you go. Tickets available at WDWNewsTonight.com. And you can watch us right here on WDWNT TV. Nick, who brings us WDW News Tonight?
News Tonight is brought to you by our official travel agent sponsor, Be Our Guest Vacations. Your dream vacation begins with Be Our Guests and their concierge team of expert vacation planners. Head over to beourguestvacations.com/WDWNT, and their team will design your next magical vacation. From the Walt Disney World and Disneyland for you and your group experience the ultimate park day. The best part is their concierge services are free.
People in the crowd were doing the echo as if they were our audience. All right, let's take a trip. Let's see what never made it off the drawing board. Let's take a trip into unbuilt Disney. Oh, you guys missed it. That's why you got to come live. You got to come live and wait an extra half hour and then watch Nick play slots. There you go, Nick. You want to try again, Nick?
Yes.
All right, go show Nick. Stop. We've looked at the Sunsetter retractable awning long enough. Let's see. All right. No. All
I
right.
could get the top row. No.
Okay. What else? We got more? No, stop! Nick! Oh, he's addicted. Oh, no. All right, that's enough. Shall we look what's coming out this? Please stop. Can we look what's coming out soon on the Nintendo Switch 2? It's a gambling game. Coming soon to Nintendo Switch 2. Yoshi's Islands of Adventure. That actually looks good, right? I'd go there.
Tom,
Yeah.
can I get more coins? I'm out.
Check your pockets.
What are you talking about?
Jump up and down. No, like not jog, jump up and down. Yeah. Okay, in all seriousness, we got a lot of show tonight. March Madness is coming up next, but because we had to cancel last week's show and change up the schedule this week, we actually had to change our panel for tonight. And so based on things that happened elsewhere today, we decided the best way to unveil our 7 panelists is as follows. So watch this reveal, and then we'll be right back with March Madness. commercial. I'm not even mic'd. I didn't make that. That was Desi's idea. Go yell at Desi. Yeah, anyway. We'll be right back.
Traveling from Los Angeles International Airport to Disneyland can be expensive and confusing, and Disney no longer has a bus service. What are you gonna do? Take an Uber like a trash person? Or Opoli? What the hell even is that? Ready to live a little dangerously? Why don't you take a ride with Mr. Toad's Wild Ride Share? Our fleet is comprised of the third most famous motor cars from 1955.
No brakes, no problem. Get in, let's go for a jolly ride.
Why settle for safe and reliable when you can have fast and questionable? Mr. Toad's Wild Ride Share gets you where you're going, as long as it's nowhere in particular.
I thought this was the Uber pickup.
Well, I thought this was a racetrack, so we're even. This motor car is stolen though, so let's be quick about it. But first, a stop at the bar.
You'll dodge pedestrians, narrowly avoid lawsuits, and maybe even take a quick detour to, well, you know.
You boys ever been to Compton?
Mr. Toad's Wild Ride Share, a Disneyland tradition since 1955, but like the rest, now complicated by an app.
Tally-ho! Avast there, me mateys. I'm Captain Barney Barnacle, now of the Disney Treasure Cruise Ship. Have you ever wanted to set sail on the seven seas with a ragtag bunch of nautical narcissists? Well, have I got the cruise for you? Come with us aboard the Disney Media Cruise. Join your favorite vloggers, bloggers, TikTokers, and limelight hoggers for a 3-night Caribbean cruise. And new for the Disney Treasure, it's Tom Corliss and Eric Morton of WDWNT. I used to hate the Disney Media Cruise, mostly because I wasn't on it. But now I love it. It turns out that selling out equals 2 free cocktails per guest. What a deal!
I can't wait to show everyone this giant suite that they can't afford, or maybe a better cooked version of the food that the paying guests are going to eat. It's going to be amazing.
Special events include live streaming of adults going down a children's slide, people with GoPros attached to them on a raft ride, eating cold food that was photographed for 25 minutes, buying Haunted Mansion parlor mugs to resell because TikTok doesn't pay a whole lot, and more. And don't miss special appearances by influencers Magical Mouse of Main Street, Magical Main Street Mouse, the Main Street Magic Mouse, Mouse Magic on Main, the Rizzler, and the girl who slept with Sabrina Carpenter's boyfriend. The Disney Media Cruise. Money can't buy an experience like this because it's only for who we deem important.
So, you want to get around Orlando with all the charm of yesteryear. What are you gonna do? Ride that dumbass iDrive trolley bus around like a trash person? From the providers of Nick's Maxi Van, Nick's Maxi Tram, Nick's Manatee Van, and Nick's Maxi Jet, it's a convenient way to get around for those old souls. Introducing Nick's Maxi Train. All aboard for service with a smile. This train stops at all of the most important destinations in town. WDWNT Celebration, the Celebration Brewing Company, Apopka, and Universal Epic Universe / the Southwater Reclamation Facility and Sewage Treatment Plant. With this route, how could a train in Central Florida fail? Once aboard, you can stop in the dining car for a delicious meal. Stop by the bar car for a complimentary beverage from Nick and Sabrina. Then, it's on to the observation car to see Orlando, Nick's way. Back in your cabin, enjoy your twin-size mattress, which is certainly not Tom's discarded bed from when he lived in Japan. You can also make use of a personal foot bath and private entertainment system. And our friendly staff will provide a lovely turn-down service as well. So take your time traversing O-Town and enjoy the journey by calling 407-WDIDNEY or book online at nixmaxivan.com/railme.
Wouldn't you like to hop aboard my big locomotive?
Yeah? Hakuna Matata. What a wonderful phrase. Hakuna Matata. Ain't no passing craze. It means no worries for the rest of your days. It's all problem-free. A philosophy. Hakuna Matata. Hakuna Matata? That's our motto. What's the motto? I don't know what's the motto of you. Take Pumbaa here, for example. When he was a young warthog. When I was a young warthog. Very nice. Thank you. He found his aroma lacked a certain appeal. He could clear the savannah after every meal. I'm a sensitive soul. What? Do I seem thick-skinned? And it hurt. We're ready? Well, you're gonna have to wait. Yay! Thursday night, it's that time of year. Another March Madness is finally here. The panels arrive, so everyone cheer. Hey, hey, let's say mistakes have been found. The baddest and the saddest in an epic showdown. The studio's rocking, let's see who gets the crown. All the missteps are on display. Now it's time for you to have your say. I've been waiting all day for Thursday night. Nothing's perfect, but some things just ain't right. The worst of the worst is gonna win this fight, 'cause I've been waiting all day for Thursday night. Yeah, baby.
WDWNT. I am your host, Eric Morton. This year, our theme is mistakes, blunders, gaffes, miscalculations, errors. Speaking of mistakes, I want to introduce my co-host for this year. Some of you know her as the Florida Woman. She is none other than Darlene, Haymaker's cousin. Darlene, welcome. Oh, it's on. Oh, it's on. Oh, yeah. Well, welcome, Darlene. We are honored to have you here.
Well, thank you. When you said mistakes being made, I said, I got to get on that show.
What would you say is the biggest mistake in your family?
Haymaker.
Why is that?
Oh, he is. Listen, the way have you met his family and seen his kids?
I'm familiar with a few of them.
Yeah, he ain't real particular about where he's having them. I heard he just had another one from a dumpster not that long ago. Called the kid Dumbo.
Now, you were telling me earlier that he had one in an attraction that's now extinct.
Yeah. I don't even remember what he named it.
Well, you told me he's got a child now named It's Tough to Be a Bug.
Oh, yeah, he ruined that one for me. Here I thought it was a bug poking me, but it was not.
Oh, wow.
This
is a family show, Darlene.
No, it was his wife saying, move over.
What kind? Do you have children?
I do. I don't name them like he does, though. Nope. I got my kids named after Dolly Parton songs. Sure do.
Dolly Parton song.
That's right. I got a Jolene. I got a Hard Candy. I got the triplets, 9 to 5. And we named the dog Christmas. So this way it could just be like Hard Candy Christmas. Let's all go. We got them all in there.
Well, I'm glad the theme is mistakes this year, Darlene.
Me too. Me too.
Before we get too
That's
deep
right.
into this, I want to go through the rules because I'm sure you're a stickler for rules.
I didn't even know there were any rules.
Oh yes, there are 7.
Man, you guys are fancy around here. The only rules in my house is don't drop the cigarette.
Yeah, I think your family's big on no rules, just right on special occasions. Right?
That's right.
All right.
Get her done.
There are 7 WDWNT panelists. Yes, 7. They will debate each matchup. Each panelist will then vote. Their vote will equal 1 point. Results can be swayed, however. How do you think they can be swayed?
I'm going to go ahead and say with money.
Bribery, that's correct. YouTube super chats, they must be sent in before the end of each quadrant or round. So you have all the way to the end of that quadrant of matchups, right, to send in your super chats. Every $10 equals 1 point for a competitor. So you can sway the results of this. In very rare occasions, I've had to be the tiebreaker. Hopefully that is not the case this year.
Ooh, what if they send in $9.99?
That does count. That happens sometimes.
What about if it's in Canadian?
In Canadian, I don't even know that we are allowed to deal with Canadians right now, Darlene. I am told that Canadian super chats are acceptable, but they will be assessed a 25% tariff.
Yeah, I heard about that too.
We're really winning every day here,
That's
Darlene.
right.
We have another surprise for the viewers, though. We have a correspondent this year.
Oh.
That will be out there in the crowd going over whatever he wants to go over. Are we ready for that yet, Billy? Are we ready to show our correspondent?
Billy, the floor correspondent.
We'll come back to that after the first round. Why don't we do the first round matchups first? Okay, these are the biggest mistakes.
They're already chosen. I didn't even know.
Oh, yeah. We have paid Fast Pass going up against Pleasure Island, the decline and eventual elimination of Pleasure Island. The Reedy Creek War is going against Bland Tower Hotels. Then we have Rocket Rods and Disneyland's Tomorrowland in general going against the Disney Cruise Line Wish class of ships. And we'll round out this quadrant with the Vision of Disney's Hollywood Studios changing from being a working studio to being, well, whatever it is now. And a big underdog in this one, but I think could go real deep, the theme park reservation system.
I don't actually
we do have our
use that.
correspondent. We do have our
The
correspondent.
reservation system.
Ladies
We
and
got-
gentlemen, please give a warm round of applause to this year's correspondent, Kevin.
All right.
Kevin, I'm told you want to talk to us about something.
Yeah. Yeah. This thing with the Epcot adult-only lounge, let me tell you guys something. Here's the thing. We don't need kids in bars. I'm a grandparent. I have a son. I'm a grandparent, so I know what I'm speaking of. When I'm at the park and I need to get away from stupid people, I would love to sit in a lounge without having any kids yelling, screaming, running around, looking at me with their snot coming out of their nose. Parents are on their phone, deep into whatever it is, Instagram, or they're probably booking their next lightning lane and pissed off about that because they got to pay for it, the whole thing. There's enough out there for parents to go and do. If you're in the park with a stroller, with an infant, with any child under the age of 18, you don't need to be in a bar. It's just like when we've gone to California Grill, or we went to, where did we go? Topolino's. I don't need a kid screaming during my dinner. It's a nice place. It's one of those things where I'm paying good money, to enjoy my meal with my wife, and I don't need kids running around and making things loud and obnoxious. It sucks. So this Epcot Lounge is geared towards for people like me who just want to relax, get away from all the craziness in the park, have a couple drinks, and talk about all the idiots we've seen in the last hour or so.
All right. Kevin will be joining us throughout the event. Thank you very much, Kevin.
What I hear him saying is it's not a place for kids, but is it a place for making them?
Well, you know,
It's not that kind
I
of
wouldn't be
adult
opposed to that. I mean, the Disneyland train station, that's a good spot too. Just saying. And all I need is Pocahontas to walk by, I'm good to go.
Well, thick Pocahontas made an appearance. What do you know? All right, well, thank you, Kevin. We are going to take it under the rotunda where Tom Corliss will moderate this group of misfits. Take it away, Tom.
Thank you, Eric. I think we have the harder job moderating those two tonight. But either way. Oh, no. Rob's laptop is making me hear myself. Rob, can you fix that, please? Thank you, Rob. Audio technician Rob, everybody. Anyway, welcome to March Madness. Yes, tonight, as you've heard, we are covering the 64 biggest mistakes in the history of Disney parks, the worst decisions of all time. We're going to decide what was the absolute worst. So we introduced the panel via that wonderful teaser video earlier, but I'll show them to you now. We'll start down on this side there. He is audio technician Rob down there, yeah. We have there we go. Oh, you guys are like unlike. It's okay. And we got our good friend Big Fat Panda's here. Now, you were sick last week, so we canceled the whole show.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, just because we didn't want to do it without
You should not.
Nick. Yeah. All right, down on this side we have the three biggest troublemakers in the company. We got Nana.
Wow, biggest.
Wow. I'm between Savannah Bananas and Nana Banana here. We got Allie. And Miss Allison. All right, we get it. You can sit in the chair now. Anyway. All right. So like Eric said, the way this works, we have 7 panelists. I'm on the panel too. 7 panelists, that's 7 points. And the only way it can be swayed this year is by Super Chat. So let's get right into it. Let's not waste another moment. Let the madness begin. First matchup, please, if you would, Katie. We all dream hard and wish hard enough. The matchup will display. Maybe not. Okay, I'm just going to go anyway then. So there it is. All right, we got the number 1 seed, the paid Fast Pass against the number 2 or the number 16 seed, Pleasure Island. So paid Fast Pass. Disney parks have utilized virtual queue systems since the introduction of Fast Pass in 1999. These systems allow park visitors to wait in a virtual queue for an attraction, reducing the wait time spent in line. Max Pass was the first virtual queue system introduced that was paid in 2017 that allowed people to go and use a virtual system for a paid fee. But on August 18, 2021, it was announced that the Fast Pass Plus, and Max Pass would be retired in favor of Disney Genie. At Disneyland and Walt Disney World, the Fast Pass system was then replaced by Disney Premier Access at Disneyland Paris, Hong Kong Disneyland, Tokyo Disney Resort, and Shanghai Disneyland. Pleasure Island, of course, was the adult-only hangout. It was a bunch of nightclubs and nighttime entertainment that I'm sure Kevin would have been a big fan of, because there's no stupid families there. And yeah, you can go enjoy the Adventurers Club, Kungaloosh, Comedy Warehouse, BET Soundstage, Mannequins, 8 Tracks, my personal favorite, the Neon Armadillo, and more. And that lasted until the financial struggles until 2008. So for the moment, number 1 is that is the introduction of paid Fast Pass, people paying for paid Fast Pass. And for number 16, I'll accept either argument. Was Pleasure Island being built a mistake, or was closing Pleasure Island a mistake? Either one counts here. So we'll begin. Miss Allison, you drew the short straw, so why don't you start us off?
I need a second to look at this because I was only able to reach the table just a few moments ago and the paper was sitting here, so I'm just looking at it now. I mean, I wasn't quite old enough. I mean, like I was kind of barely old enough to really experience Pleasure Island, so I don't really have my heart in it as a lot of other people do. But my goodness, paid fast passes, that is terrible. I mean, like people still talk about it to this. What's happening?
Nothing.
Oh, okay. People still talk about it to this day, so I'm still angry about it. Paid fast passes.
Paid fast pass. Allie?
It's not even a competition, absolutely the paid fast pass. Like I remember a day where we could go to Disneyland and swipe your little card, get your max pass, go back to the ride. You didn't have to worry about waiting in long lines, and now they just want money for you to go on anything. And similar to what she said, I'm a little too young to remember Pleasure Island, so I don't really have any skin in the game on that, but paid fast pass.
Nana in your stolen 3D glasses.
I didn't steal it. I borrowed it.
Borrowed it from who?
Walt Disney.
Waldo C.
Mine is paid pass for sure. I mean, Japanese people are poor, but we still have to pay a lot of money and, you know, pay fast pass.
There's no way we're going to survive this cancellation. There's no way. Piano Rob.
Oh, going to me. Well, let's spend a second on Pleasure Island only because I don't think it's going to win. But Pleasure Island was a beautiful, magical, wonderful place that I miss all the time. And I hate that it's going against paid fast pass. But paid fast pass is awful. It's an awful thing. I know we've all said iterations of it, and we're going to say it every round that this is here. But yes, you decided to make a class system. If you have more money, you get more things, and that was never the way before. So it's definitely worse. So paid fast pass.
Panda.
I'm going to be different. Okay, I admit, paid fast pass is horrible. And maybe this is age-based, but Pleasure Island going away, to me, big deal, because I loved the Adventurers Club, 8 tracks, even the cigar bar was awesome. I missed the whole thing. And yeah, it's Pleasure Island going away.
Nick?
And wait, now they have Epcot, they're putting adult stuff now in Epcot because, all of a sudden now they need adult stuff. So.
Nick, you like adult stuff? Go on.
I kind of disagree with the premise that Pleasure Island was a mistake to build or close. I think it probably has served its time. It's good. So definitely paid fast pass. That was a mistake.
I'm also going paid fast pass. That's 6-1. Paid fast pass over Pleasure Island. 6-1. We're going to move on to the next matchup, which is going to be the war for Reedy Creek against the Bland Tower Hotels. Oh boy. From March of 2022 until June of 2024, the Walt Disney Company was involved in a feud with Florida Governor Ron DeSantis and the state's Republican Party over Florida's Parental Rights in Education Act, colloquially known as Don't Say Gay Bill. While initially a donor to some of the politicians who voted in favor of the act, after its passage, Disney spoke out against the bill and called for it to be repealed. The state of Florida then decided Disney should no longer have their special privileges and ended Reedy Creek and began the Central Florida Tourism Oversight District. And for the Bland Tower Hotels, we're specifically talking about the Grand Destino Tower at Coronado Springs, July 2019. Disney's Riviera Resort, December 2019. Island Tower, or the pile of cardboard boxes as I call it, at Disney's Polynesian Village Resort, December 2024. And Disney's Lakeshore Lodge, which is coming in 2027. Piano Rob, why don't you start us off from that side this time?
I don't think the Reedy Creek War was really a mistake. I think it was kind of a necessity, and I think it's important to take a stand where you got to take a stand sometimes. The Bland Tower Hotels, I don't understand why we're doing that. You come to these places for theming, and we're not theming them. So, Bland Tower Hotels.
Panda?
Bland Tower Hotels.
Nick?
Yeah, I agree with Rob. I don't think the Reedy Creek thing was a mistake as much as it was just a ridiculous episode in government and Disney history here. But so definitely the mistake is the Bland Tower Hotels.
Well, you all know me. You know how I make a living. I'm going with Bland Tower Hotels because why do you go on a theme park vacation to not have theme, as Rob said? It doesn't make sense. Nana?
Wow.
How offensive can you be?
This is, I kind of follows the Reedy Creek.
You don't like the Reedy Creek is the mistake for you. Them fighting with the Florida government.
No politics, but yeah, that's how I feel. Yeah, Reedy Creek.
All right, Allie?
The Reedy Creek was like ridiculous from afar, from 3,000 miles away, and a little bit entertaining, honestly. But the Bland Tower hotels are horrible. That needs to stop. Easy. Bland
You guys
Tower.
had no trouble with Gavin Newsom. He didn't keep Disneyland from opening forever. Anyway, Miss Allison.
The hotels represent, I used to be excited to see an opening of a hotel, and now I just roll my eyes, and these hotels represent that, so hotel is my vote.
The Adventurers Club and Lightning Lane are behind me. That can't be right, either way. But yeah, so 6-1, Bland Tower Hotels over the war for Reedy Creek. We're going to move on to our next matchup then. Our next matchup is going to be the Rocket Rods versus the Disney Cruise Line Wish-class ships. Rocket Rods, of course, the People Mover at Disneyland was closed in 1996 to be replaced with Rocket Rods, which infamously was still sponsored by Goodyear, which was the sponsor of the People Mover for 20-something years at Disneyland. And then they blew through all the tires for Rocket Rods. In about 3 weeks, they called Goodyear and asked for more, and Goodyear laughed and hung up and ended the sponsorship. Very famously, Rocket Rods did not last very long. It had a number of mechanical problems. And yeah, famously one of the most iconic failed attractions in Disney theme park history. And we're going to lump in that all of Tomorrowland 98. So Turning Space Mountain Bronze, Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, Cosmic Waves, the water play area. They turned an attraction into a bad pizza restaurant. Another attraction was turned into the queue for Rocket Rods. And that was it. They turned the spinner attraction on the top of the building into a showpiece and then put another one on the ground. I could keep going, but I won't. I'll leave the rest out for time. And that is up against the Wish-class ships, of course, beginning with the Disney Wish a couple years ago, famously, if it ain't broke, fix it anyway. Well, they sure did. The Wish is probably the most disliked, I would dare say absolutely the most disliked ship in the Disney Cruise Line fleet. They fixed it a little bit with the Treasure, but the layout problems persist because they cannot be fixed at this point. So, all right, Panda, I feel like you're a big Disney Cruise Line guy, so I want you to start this one off.
And I'm not familiar too much with Disneyland. I mean, I know about Rocket Rods, and I know it was a mistake, but my thing is the Wish class. I think you have so much time to design a ship, and for it not to be better than what you had just blows my mind. How some hallways could be so tiny on this big, I don't get it. So I'm going to say the Wish class is just, I still enjoy them, but they're not what they should have been.
How about the running trail that goes upstairs?
And the beautiful Coffee Cove Cafe that's all the way like...
Yeah. Nick?
So I didn't know about Rocket Rods till I met you, and to this day is one of my favorite stories. You tell it all the time, and there's new stuff all the time about how ridiculous it was. And honestly, like, all right, so they got that ship class wrong. There's plenty of other ships. There'll be plenty of other ships. But to, like, make that mistake inside a Disneyland theme park where you have such limited space is just, you can't get around that. So definitely that.
They still haven't gotten around it.
No, they haven't, right? Yeah.
Oh, Nana?
I love Rocket Rods. I remember.
Did you go on it?
I did.
You've never told me this.
Well, 25 years ago or something, I ride it once. That's the first and last time I rode it.
Did it pop the wheelie?
What does that mean?
Oh.
Yeah.
So when Rocket Rods worked, at the start, it would go into position and it'd have like the race lights, like the to go, like at a race.
Yeah.
I don't watch NASCAR, sorry, I don't know the terminology. But the lights would happen and it would take off and the front of the vehicle would lift up and you take off popping a wheelie. So on the back two wheels.
Wow. Well,
It famously didn't work very often.
I think that
Mine was
was
fine.
and you almost died.
But yeah, in this situation, I could I pick Wish.
The Wish.
Yeah, because I have a couple of friends working at Wish, and I hear the horror stories. So.
Allie?
I know you guys are going to be shocked, but Kevin has told me over and over and over again about just how horrible the Rocket Rods were and how some dumb idiot stuck his leg out and broke his leg, right? His foot, something dumb because they didn't have safety. And the fact that they got rid of the People Mover for whatever this dumpster fire was, and then now it just sits there on this rotting track is just tragic to me. Rocket Rods.
Miss Allison?
I don't like the Wish. I really
You just
don't.
came back
I
from
did
it,
just
didn't
come
you?
back from it.
You were the most recent on the Wish of everyone up here.
I was there like 2 weeks ago.
I'm sorry.
I mean, I enjoy a cruise. I mean, I didn't not enjoy myself, but the
Yeah.
design of the ship, like, I constantly had cast members be like, so have you been on other cruises? Yeah, I've been on the other, pretty much all the other ones. They're like, so what do you think of the Wish? And they wouldn't say anything, but they'd be like, so what do you think between this and maybe the Fantasy? I'm like, well, and they're like, So, like, if the cast members are like also agreeing that it's really difficult to find your way around the ship and there's so many dead ends, you didn't make a very good cruise ship.
Yeah.
So I am voting for the Wish.
They once asked me on the Wish, what's your favorite ship? I said, the rest.
Oh.
Piano, that's a real thing. And they laughed. Thankfully, they had a good sense of humor. They laughed. But Piano Rob, please.
I mean, this is getting more comparable to me. I mean, I feel like every cruise line has ships that aren't as good as the other ships, and if you're pricing them appropriately, it might not be a big deal, but they really did mess up Tomorrowland, the whole thing. I mean, I haven't gone on a Disney cruise yet, but I'll be on the Wonder playing piano July 21st to 28th.
It's a real affordable cruise, everyone.
It's a very affordable cruise. I hope the price.
Veranda's only 11 grand. Don't worry.
This is a tough one to me. I think the bigger mistake though was Rocket Rods in Tomorrowland '98.
Ooh, that's a tie.
Wow.
That's a tie. I'm gonna break the tie. You know, the Wish is a piece of garbage, right? But like people still pay to go on it. It's still full all the time. Like Tomorrowland at Disneyland, people show up and are like, "What's that?" Like people that don't know anything show up and go, "What's that?" And they're like, "Nothing." They're like, "Oh, well, that's real bad show." It's got to be Tomorrowland at Disneyland. I'm sorry. Like that's a wreck. Like don't get me wrong, the Wish is awful and a blunder, and they should never let someone who can't design a cruise ship design a cruise ship, or never been on a cruise design a cruise ship. So I'm going Tomorrowland and Rocket Rock.
The cruise mistake is permanent. The Tomorrowland one isn't permanent.
It's not permanent. It's been an empty track for 25 years. It's not permanent.
They could fix it. They can't fix the ship.
Anyway, they can't fix the ship?
Can't
guess they
change
could
those
dry
rules.
dock it.
The layout.
They could just
They're
dry
all
dock
load-bearing
it.
walls, I found out.
Next one. You know what wasn't a load-bearing wall? The doors to the closet that laid on Jason's floor for the maiden voyage. They fell off and they left it there. Anyway. All right. Next matchup, please. This is going to be the vision of Disney's Hollywood Studios versus the theme park reservation system. Yes, so the vision of Hollywood Studios, we're talking about going from working studio to home for Hollywood-themed rides, and then to immersive lands to live your own adventure. And then the theme park reservation system was introduced to the parks with COVID, has remained in some way, shape, or form. Of course, lessened a little bit at Disney World. It's really just for pass holders at this point. Disneyland, it's still very much a thing, and Magic Key holders have been complaining, especially this week. I know like the last week or so they've not been able to get in the park. And the Disneyland Paris, it's always been a nightmare. So that's what we got. Theme park reservation system versus vision of Hollywood Studios. Nana, since you're wearing these stolen glasses from Hollywood Studios.
Good. No, this is not from Hollywood Studios. This is from Animal Kingdom.
Oh, so you stole it from Animal King.
Borrowed it.
Borrow.
Yes.
You're going to return it to its stuff to be a bug. That's totally possible.
That's what I'm doing.
You should bring it back to Muppets and just say, I just wanted to put it in the right bin.
Wow. Wow. But yeah.
This isn't the bin. There were bug eyes on that bin. I can't put it in there.
Well, I should swap to my bug eye, but anyways.
Those they let us take.
True. Yeah, they did. Yes. Well, this one too. It's all right. Well, you know, I don't know if people read my desk note every time I write on every Saturday.
For those that don't know, Nana's calls her photo reports on the website Death Notes.
Because whatever I write it, Disney kind of read it, maybe fix it sometimes, but wow. And I always have an issue with Park Pass on my day that I have to work. But I also hate the current situation of Hollywood Studios. Yeah. I mean, it's already destroyed at this point, so I cannot do anything. So Park Pass, they need to go. They need to go. So I cannot do anything.
I know, neither
right?
can I. I tried. Allie.
I hate both.
Wait, which one did you pick?
Park Pass.
Just pick the Park Pass.
Because I gotta fix Hollywood Studio.
That's an interesting point. You know, no, I'm going to stick with what I was thinking. Yeah, the park passes are horrible, but less of a concern here. I'm sorry, Disneyland people. Hollywood Studios sucks. Like, Nana told me today not to burn the park down when she sent me there. It's terrible. Hollywood Studios.
You can't burn the park down. Gertie said.
That's true. I'll save Gertie.
Yes.
She's got snow. She'll be
she's
fine.
in the water.
Yeah, she's in the water. We're good.
She's
We're
full
good,
of
fam.
ice cream that comes out of her nipples.
Yeah, so we'll save Gertie. Rest of the park can burn it down.
Miss Allison.
Oh my goodness. I will vote for the reservation system. When it came out, it was an absolute mess, and now I don't know. I just don't. I don't know, and I don't think anybody else really knows.
It's Lucas's excuse to never go.
He has a lot of excuses to not go. I don't think he needs that one.
Oh boy.
He'll use it though. He'll use that excuse.
You know, I don't like either of these things, but I miss my Hollywood Studios. I'm going to go with Hollywood Studios. I miss my park. Nick.
Yeah, I feel like the Hollywood Studios thing impacts me personally more. I mean, just because it's the park that I just don't want to spend any time in. And I don't feel the park reservation system is that big of a burden right now. So, yeah, Studios.
Panda?
I gotta go with theme park reservation system only because it already confuses stuff more, and they don't even know what's going on. You get to Hollywood Studios sometimes at 4 o'clock with an annual pass. They say you need a reservation. They don't even know that there's an after 2 o'clock.
It's changed so many times that they can't keep up.
So I'm going with that.
Okay. Piano Rob, you're the tiebreaker.
Well, perfect, because I was going to make you guys change your answers if I wasn't. I don't mind the theme park reservation system, because as somebody who doesn't like to get up early and stuff, it's great to know you have a park reservation. I can go at noon, I can go at 2 o'clock, I can go whenever. The only problem I have with the reservation system is, like for me as a cast member, if I want to go to Disneyland, even if I have a hotel reservation, I can only book up to 3 at a time. So there's issues with that. Hollywood Studios was such a beautiful vision. And this park has had an identity crisis for such a long time. Oh, everybody I think knows by now, I worked at the Backlot Tour for a couple of years. I love that park, and I don't know what that park is anymore. And if you make that whole park one cohesive thing again, it would be great for everybody. Same thing. We come to theme parks for theming. Hollywood Studios, what are you now? So that is the biggest mistake out of these, easily.
All right, 4-3, the vision of Hollywood Studios. Our next matchup is going to be the number 3 seed. It's hard to read this. I can't.
3.
Number 3 seed, the closure of the original Journey into Imagination at Epcot versus the closure of 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea at the Magic Kingdom. Nick, why don't you start us off?
Well, I think it's ridiculous that you'd allow one of these to be knocked out so early, but
it's the way the seating went.
It is the way the seating went. I mean, it has to be imagination, but 20,000 Leagues was amazing. But I mean, I go on it. I go on the subs at Disneyland, and I could see why it just doesn't work with a modern theme park with capacity and the way you need to get guests in and out. It was a beautiful ride for its time, but imagination, that's the bigger loss here by a pretty good margin.
Panda?
Imagination, 100%. That original introduction going around with the Dreamfinder, and at least Figment had a personality. I don't know what it is now. So that.
Piano Rob.
I'm with you guys. The biggest was closing Original Imagination. Every version of that ride since is worse than that original version. 20,000 Leagues had its day, but we've definitely come a far way since then. Mine Train is better in the location anyway. So Original Imagination.
Miss Allison?
Did we vote for one of the March Madnesses that Imagination was the greatest attraction?
We absolutely did, yeah.
Well, then that's my vote. It's a travesty.
That makes sense. Allie?
Imagination.
Nana?
We gotta love our purple god. And if you go to Tokyo Disney Sea, you can ride it still. So, going with
That's a good, so I want to say this much. I think 20,000 Leagues in the museum, we've done museum tours lately. We have a section of the museum for 20K now. And when we get there, what I point out is the magic of 20K was that Harper Goff Nautilus coming out of the waterfall and you seeing it. It wasn't necessarily the ride, it was seeing that beautiful machine go through the water and come out of a waterfall and the skyway going over. It was the aesthetic, it wasn't so much the ride. So like my mistake would be the fact that Disney World has never had another 20,000 Leagues thing, that they never did anything else with it, or even just parked a Nautilus somewhere for people to look at in a cool spot.
Except for what, Club 33, right? In Adventureland, isn't that Nautilus themes? Aren't you?
There's a
into Nautilus?
room.
Yeah.
But it's not for plebeians like us.
No, I know. I've never been in it. That's why I had to ask.
But it's still not the exterior of the Nautilus, right? And thankfully, Paris and Tokyo have done a beautiful job with it. But yeah, so we're going 7-0 for Imagine. Not that we don't love 20K, but 7-0 that Imagination was the bigger mistake.
But for 20,000K in Super Chats, you can move it forward.
Next up, we've got the removal of Muppet Vision 3D against the end of the Osborne family spectacle of dancing lights.
What kind of evil is this? What kind of evil is this?
Oh, Rob, you spoke. Guess what that means?
What kind of evil
You get to go first.
What kind of evil is
wisely,
this?
Rob.
So the way this is done, I do all the seating, and then they end up in the bracket. So I don't know what the matchups are going to be.
This one's going to be a fight.
Yeah, this one is very hard because these are two love things in the same theme park.
They're in the same space.
Same space. I was going to say they're in the
next
same.
to each other.
We might have a fist fight break out. On this
Both of these are an absolute travesty to not have anymore.
Yeah.
It's very. One is the last work of Jim Henson. The history of the Osborne lights. At the end of the day, I know what the answer is, but it sucks to say it because I love the Osborne lights. But Studios is still the best decorated Christmas park, in my opinion, that Disney does as well. And I think they've tried to make up for it in that way. Getting rid of Muppet Vision, there's nothing to say. That's the worst one. Getting rid of Muppet Vision.
Panda.
I feel like they're going to save Muppets somewhere. I feel like I could watch it on a DVD. It's not the same. A Blu-ray, I get it. But that Osborne Lights, I looked forward to it so much. The canopy, the thing, it was a feeling. You had hot cocoa and cookies. I missed that. I'm going with Osborne Lights.
Okay. Nick.
One is a masterpiece by one of the greatest creatives of the last century, and the other is Christmas lights hanging on buildings.
I love Muppet Vision, but that's a rough shot at Osborne
I'm
lights.
sorry, Osborne was cool. Whatever. I never loved it as much as other people did, but I just didn't. You know that I've said that many times whenever we've talked about.
I don't
Osborne
listen when you talk.
I know. It's not even close. It is Muppets in my mind, but I mean,
Okay.
We'll see how this goes.
So, for me, you know that a theme park experience is great when you feel emotional about it. Osborne Lights was always an emotional thing. I think there was a magic to the experience of Osborne. For me, you'd watch, families gathered around watching the lights dance. I loved when the cast members would get into it. They'd all do what was it? They do the cha-cha slide or whatever to Feliz Navidad. They would all do, it was a thing. They'd all get in the middle of the street and do it in the midst of the Osborne light. No one remembers that.
He worked there. He didn't see that. You were on Gummies again.
No, it must have been something that people started to do.
No, it was a real thing they would do.
Yeah, cha-cha slide to Feliz Navidad.
It's a magical experience. That closing was super emotional to watch them fade away the way they did. But Muppets, as soon as it was announced, I went in there and I was nearly in tears because I was like, I can't believe they're going to do this. But I think Muppets edges it out. Muppets is way more of the personality of Disney parks. It's a remnant of the greatest era of Imagineering and working with a legendary group of performers and creatives that is the Jim Henson Company and Jim himself. It's Muppets. It's Muppets all the way. Nana.
Osborne, 100%.
You put the glasses on. What did you do?
Because you know why? Because
Why?
we recording every show. If you have disc glasses, you can watch at the house, right? No?
Does it work that
It doesn't
way?
work like that?
I don't know if it works.
But that's not the point. But I love Osborne more than anything else. The way that Santa Goofy come over from the backstage and turn on the lights and every light turns on. Oh
Of course,
my
it goes
goodness.
to characters.
Oh my goodness.
So if we wear 3D glasses on the set, people see us in 3D online?
I see 3D right now.
Oh,
I see 3 douches. Oh, wait, that's not what we're talking about.
Maybe 4D. But yeah, Osborne 100% all the way.
Allie?
I Googled what the Osborne lights were. I've never seen them. I've never seen them. I didn't grow up here. It looked cool, but the Muppets are just, that's history, Muppets.
Miss Allison.
When I was coming here when I was a child, my family basically had the same view as Nick, is that why would we go see just a whole bunch of Christmas lights? So I
Oh.
only went to see them like twice ever. So I noticed I don't have that connection with them. I mean, looking back on it, I'm like, why didn't we go see this more? This is beautiful.
Lucas was making wood.
Is that like a
No, stop. Would you all stop?
It was a long time ago. But yeah, I think I think it's just so much sadder. It cuts deeper that Muppet Vision is being removed.
Lucas would have gone though. There were pretzel carts.
There were
at Osborne. So just to note.
Even when he was like, when did they get rid of the? What year was that?
2015.
2015.
Yeah, so like January of 16, right?
16, yeah.
16. Okay.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah. So 5-2 Muppets over the Osborne family
Wow.
spectacle of dancing lights. May it dance in our hearts forever.
Now, does this change if they bring Muppets back?
Does it change if they bring Muppets back? No, we don't. We don't go back and change these shows. It's hard enough to run them the first time. All right, next up. The closure of Epcot Center's Horizons versus Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. Was Star Wars Galaxy's Edge a mistake? And was closing Horizons a mistake? And which was the bigger mistake? Nick, you like Star Wars and
do.
Horizons.
I do.
So why don't you start us
I
off?
like them both. Yeah, it's hard because I don't think necessarily closing Horizons was a mistake. It was, I think, you know.
Eric's about to jump over that table.
Well, it's one of those things that could have been updated over time, potentially, things like that. But, I mean, I think Star Wars Galaxy's Edge was the bigger mistake because it has just so much unrealized potential. Horizons realized its potential, had a great run, influenced a lot of people, created a lot of great memories. Star Wars Galaxy's Edge is like one of the biggest IPs ever in the history of the world, and they messed it up. They did not realize what they could have done with that property, and so that is definitely the bigger mistake because there is unrealized potential. Horizons had its thing, and we enjoyed it, and now it's gone. But yeah.
Panda?
Okay, this was a really hard one because I'm conflicted, but you just sold me. And I agree with you. Star Wars is a lot of unrealized potential. Well, I do agree. Horizons could have just been updated. It was great. It was a fun ride.
Yeah.
But I'm going with Galaxy's Edge. I think we should have had a Rancor monster ride.
Piano Rob?
Ooh, this is a tough one. I kind of agree with you guys because I think the same thing. Like they how do you mess it up? It's Star Wars. How do you mess it up? But Horizons is such a classic, and I really don't want to see Star Wars just blow this out of the, because closing Horizons is a big deal. So I think to balance it out a little, I'm going to say closing Horizons.
Miss Allison?
Carousel of Progress is basically my favorite attraction, and this is like the sequel to
It's the sequel, yeah.
Carousel of Progress. So I have to vote for closure of Horizons because of that.
Allie?
I agree with everything Nick said. Horizons was great. It had a good run, but Galaxy's Edge could have been phenomenal, and it's just not.
Nana?
Galaxy's Edge because they took my old Hollywood studios.
Nana's out for revenge. It looks like Galaxy's Edge is going to take it, but This is really tough, but yeah, I think Galaxy's Edge. I think we had the expectation that this was going to be the greatest thing ever done, and then it wasn't. And we knew at the time it was a risk. When they said, we're going to do an original planet, and it's in the new storyline, I was like, yeah, they're taking and what we love as park fans is original storytelling. So there was a part of me that's like, this is great. It's not going to just be the Star Wars you know. We'll get to experience characters and animatronics and things we never see. And they sold us all that entertainment, but for me, it's the entertainment cuts. They killed it when they didn't allow you to have the reputation system, when they didn't have live actors and droids and aliens roaming, when there weren't flying spaceships overhead. It was unrealized. It wasn't what it was supposed to be. I'm going with Star Wars Galaxy's Edge.
And they did it wrong twice.
They did, and they did too.
And they did too.
The good news, I think it could be fixed. I think they're starting to, and I think it could get there with the money and the attention. So, all right, last in the quadrant, we have Pixar Pier versus Ending Magical Express. Of course, in January 2021, the Walt Disney Company announced the discontinuation of Magical Express, which was then effective January 1st, which is why Nick started Nick's Maxi Van.
Heck yeah.
Yes, citing changes to consumer preferences as the reason. The announcement was subject to controversy, and yeah, there you go. All right. Nana, why don't you start us off?
Pixar Pier needs to be burned.
Yes.
I love DCA. DCA is my home. But Pixar Pier, oh, I cannot take that. Bring back my California Screamer. Screaming? Screamer?
Screaming, not Screamer.
I'm a
California Screamer is a different thing.
Close enough, but yeah. Pixar Pier. Woohoo.
Allie?
Burn Pixar Pier to the ground.
Yeah! Miss Allison?
I'm voting for Magical Express.
Boo!
You can boo me.
I'm joking.
It's okay. It starts off your vacation even earlier, and it I don't know.
By stopping at 4 other resorts before yours?
I get to watch. You got to watch.
You
Gus.
can see where you could stay next
Yes.
time.
I got to watch a video of Gus, the cop from Streetmosphere. He would talk to you about what to expect. It was an adorable video, and it was the start of my vacation.
I liked when Scrooge went to the front desk with the bags of money.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah.
The video was super cute. Super cute. Anyway, Piano Rob.
California Adventure obviously has its own share of problems, so I understand why they had to revamp it and come up with something. Is the pier idea great? No. But Magical Express, a lot of people relied on. That was a very easy way. That's a very Disney thing. You drop your bags off and they show up in your room. One of my favorite stories is there was a family that could not find their bags, and after further investigation, we found out they left them on their front steps at their home, thinking they were going to pick them up from their home. But Magical Express is the type of service Disney should have. They should. You're paying enough in most cases. There should be a service that you drop your bags off and they're going to show up and you can go enjoy your day. That's time is more valuable. Magical Express.
Panda.
You're paying enough in most cases. They should go to your house and pick up your luggage. I'm going with Magical Express because still to this day, the fallout of people that are mad that it's gone was just a PR nightmare. I think it would have cost them less money to keep it. So, Magical Express.
Nick?
Ending Magical Express was the greatest decision Disney has ever made. The only mistake people make, Tom, the biggest mistake, it's not even on this list, is when people don't call 407 WDW to get a ride from Nick's Maxi Van. So thank you. So definitely Paradise Pair was the bigger mistake.
Pixar Pier?
Yeah, whatever that is.
That ties it up.
Yeah.
God, oh man. I hate Pixar Pier with every fiber of my being. I think I've told this story a million times. I'll tell it once more. Jason and I went to the grand opening, and the next day they had a D23 event where it was like 20 of us, and we got to tour the land with the portfolio executive from Walt Disney Imagineering in charge of the project. And at one point he gets in front of the Incredicoaster and he goes, yeah, just California Screaming wasn't a very Disney attraction. It didn't have that Disney story and blah, blah, blah. And I thought I was being quiet, and I leaned to Jason and I go, that's what someone will say when they replace this in 15 years. Oh. And apparently everyone got real quiet at that point, and he heard me, and he made a grumpy face. Oh. So, anyway, I hate Pixar Pier, but there's not a day on the website we don't have a comment from someone and a different person, not the same person every day, about Magical Express. I hate to do this, but I'm going to give it to Magical Express.
Ollie, what
It's
are we
4
gonna
to
do
3
now?
for Magical
Burn it to the
Express.
ground.
We need to burn it to the ground for
I
you.
hate, you just go do that.
Okay.
Start with Poultry Palace, please.
Okay.
Please. Anyway.
Oh.
That's our first quadrant. We're going to send it back to Eric and who?
Darlene.
Darlene.
Important announcement here. One of the matchups has been flipped by Super Chat.
Oh.
That was supporter 6667 with a $40 donation to flip it, and now the Osborne.
Wait, what was the donation?
$40.
Oh, jeez.
Osborne
Okay.
Lights is now beating Muppet Vision. 6-5.
People, someone, I might need to super chat.
All right, we have another super chat that came in. That was from, oh boy, we got them rolling in. I don't know if Katie has those all logged. Another RJ, $10 for Horizons.
That's another point for Horizon.
That does not flip the match.
No, it does not.
But Tom and Maggie, $10. Piano Rob, we love you, but Pixar Place is an abomination. Pixar Pier is an abomination. So there's one
That
for
ties
Pixar.
that.
That ties that matchup.
Oh
Ollie,
boy.
we need another $10.
So as I go through the recap, when we reach the end of the recap of this round, then that's it, and the round is over. So you have that much time if you want to try to flip with the super chat.
If someone wants to flip Muppet Vision back, that'd be great.
Paid Fast Pass wins 6-1 over Pleasure Island. Reedy Creek goes down. They lose 6-1 to the Bland Tower Hotels. Rocket Rods defeats the Wish class. Anything Wish related. I think people were talking about the movie Wish also, but that was not in the bracket. Vision of Disney's Hollywood Studios 4-3 over the theme park reservation system. Our first shutout, the original Journey into Imagination over the closure of 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. I see we have some major donations coming in.
Something just happened,
Let's get to this because it's right here. We're on this matchup of the Osborne Lights and Muppet Vision. WDW Mickey, $50 for Muppet Vision, and also Egg 663, another $50 for Muppet Vision. So that's 10 more points for Muppet Vision.
I think Muppet.
Wow, that was
so
quick.
that gives it a 15 to 6.
Oh, good. It's Original Imagination versus Muppet Vision in the next round. Oh boy.
Well, the
See you tomorrow night.
Wow. We're gonna still be doing this for
that
breakfast.
one now, as it stands, until I get to the end, is 15 to 6. Excuse me. The closure of Horizons got 1 point for Super Chat, but it's still a 5-3 loser to Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. Pixar Pier got 1, but that puts it as a tie. There's another $10 by Ashley B for Muppet Vision, so there's another point for Muppet Vision.
Do we need to break the tie then?
Hold on, there's another Fat Test of Travel gives Magical Express a point there. So.
Oh wait, so Magical Express just got another?
Now that's no longer a tie. Magical Express takes the lead. That's 5-4.
Does that close the round
I'm
then?
glad that
You can
close the
declare
round
it.
in 10 seconds here. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3.
Well done, sir.
All right, there we have it. In the final score, there is a Magical Express now wins over Pixar Pier.
I think Muppet. All right.
Darlene, what did you think of your first experience on March Madness?
Listen, I got a lot of thoughts about this. First of all, I've learned that more money does not equal more class, which makes me one of the classest bitches here. Because I ain't got no money. I've also real confused.
Is your hair curler a... Is that
It's
a
a
natural
natty light kid, it sure is. It's the biggest curl I could find at the cheapest price. Natty light. They don't endorse me yet, but they will. I also have some questions as to who's closing Verizon, because I don't want to switch to AT&T.
I saw your Metro PCS phone when you walked in here, darling.
That's right. I get mine at Walmart. You can add cash at the counter. Also, I just want to let Nick know he's off the Christmas card list. I want you to know that those Christmas lights mean a lot to me, and I cry every year when they come down in July. I sure do.
I have a feeling you leave the tree up, though.
I sure do. You gotta decorate that thing year round. Sometimes I just throw beer cans on it. It's nice. Also, I never rode the Disney Magical Express from the inside, but I know it well from either on top or underneath in the baggage
What are you,
area.
Teen Wolf?
Listen, sometimes I drop a cigarette. Put my back in. Sometimes you gotta live a little, but I can't afford to live real nice, so I only pretend to be rich and then go through people's bags when I'm underneath there. It's real nice. I got me a nice pair of sunglasses one time.
Do you wait till they leave them on their porch for the Magical Express?
I come by and I said, no, don't worry. The bus is coming.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Well, we will, I'll help you pay for the minutes on your jitterbug phone, since we're staying so late.
Nice of you. My kids will appreciate that. Because those nights and weekend minutes just ain't cutting it anymore.
The T9 texting is awful fun, though.
It sure is with these nails. Listen, my Nana just did these for me. So T9 texting is difficult, real difficult with these puppies.
All right, you ready to go to the next bracket?
There's more?
You have no idea what you signed up for.
We almost did the whole
You're going to
thing
have
in
to
one
call
night.
the halfway house and tell them you're going to be late.
Eric, we're not even halfway.
We're real strict about closing them doors about 10:30 to 11:15.
Maybe we'll let you sleep here. But Julie, can Darlene stay somewhere in the studio tonight? Okay.
Oh.
We got nice
All
bushes
I heard
out
was
there.
absolutely, so thank you very much.
I think she said absolutely not. All right, next bracket. Oh, boy.
All right. Oh, your preview. Yes.
The treatment of cast members during COVID is going up against the City of Celebration, its development and eventual returning it to the people, I guess you could say. Next up, we have the NBA experience against the closure of Mr. Toad's Wild Ride at the Magic Kingdom. Then we have the firing of Tom Staggs. Ooh, this is man. Firing of Tom Staggs versus My Disney Experience or the need to use your phone constantly in the parks, the need for an app. Then we have Disneyland's Country Bear Jamboree closing versus closing the Great Movie Ride. Two of Tom's favorite things, bears and movie ride. Promoting Paul Pressler is going to go up against Main Street Electrical Parade in its numerous farewell tours. They're like Gene Simmons.
I've also had numerous farewell tours.
I don't want to know. The Cinderella Castle Dreamlight's going away against Walt Disney Studios Park, apparently just it existing. The introduction of alcohol to the castle parks is going against the triumphant return of Bob Iger. And last but not least in this match, in this round, the Tomorrowland Cabanas against the, what does that say?
Euro
Disney. The much maligned budgetary constraints introduced due to the overruns at Disneyland Paris, I assume is what we're talking
We're
about.
just building it.
Just
I know
building
that's
it.
a lot of words that I don't understand, so best of luck to them.
Okay, so the stamps you get in the mail,
Yeah.
they spent more of those than they had. Does that help?
Listen, I tried to do that with food stamps once, and it did not work out so
All right,
well.
let's take it under the rotunda before we get in trouble.
Oh boy. Katie, I just want to verify what order we're going in. What is the next matchup you have if you want to throw that up? Just to make sure I'm going in the right order here. Because I've got it backwards on my sheet, but I want to make sure. Which one?
Bottom left.
That one? Okay, let me jump ahead. So we're going to have the mistreatment of Disney cast members during COVID. Hold on, give me a second, I'll find it. It's here somewhere. Yeah, so the mistreatment of cast members during COVID, a quick refresher that 40,000 cast members were furloughed in April of 2020, and 28,000 cast members were then laid off in September of 2020 under Bob Chapek. What a nice guy. He's a real sweetheart. And then that's up against the City of Celebration. I do have a prepared statement on the City of Celebration, which we are currently in. I would like to read to you. In the early 1990s, the Disney Development Company established the Celebration Company to spearhead its development within about 4,900 acres of land in the southern portion of the Reedy Creek Improvement District. A total investment for the project estimated at US $2.5 billion. Of course, this is land that Walt Disney bought for his Florida project, the intention of using as part of the Florida project. The first phase of residential development occurred in the summer of 1996 with Celebration Village, the West Village, and Lake, is it Evelyn, I guess? This was followed by the North Village, South Village, East Village, and Aquila Reserve in the final Artisan Park phases. Michael Eisner took a especially keen interest in the development of the town, encouraging the executives at Disney to make history and develop a town worthy of the Disney brand and legacy that extended to Walt Disney's vision of Epcot. But a fun thing about this, Disney attempted numerous efforts to encourage economic and ethnic diversity among residents in the early days of development. The company placed advertisements in newspapers and magazines that catered to African American and Hispanic demographics, printed brochures featuring racial minorities, and hired African American workers in the community sales office. In addition, the owners of the first 350 houses and 123 apartments were chosen by a lottery in an effort to prevent racial discrimination against home buyers. However, by 2000, it was revealed that the racial makeup of the community was 88% white, compared to the surrounding county's 59% white population. Demographers partially blame the lack of diversity on Disney's decision to forego building subsidized housing, instead opting to donate $900,000 to Osceola County to help area residents buy houses under $80,000, below the market value of most housing in Celebration. Could we just dare say all housing in Celebration? Either way. But after founding Celebration, Disney followed plans to divest most of its control of the town. So they don't operate Celebration. They gave it away. But anyway, so that's the discussion. Mistreatment of cast members or building Celebration? What was the bigger mistake? Miss Allison.
I mean, with that roaring endorsement of the City Celebration, I don't know. It's the mistreatment of cast members, hands down. Is atrocious.
Allie?
Mistreatment of cast members.
Nana?
Mistreatment of cast member because cast members are the magic.
Yeah, we should put that on a shirt.
I have the T-shirts.
I know, we made those.
Yeah, you gave me.
Yeah. I'm also going to go with the cast members, even though they hate me. Piano Rob?
The mistreatment of the cast members.
Panda?
Mistreatment of the cast members. Can I just ask Darlene something real quick?
Text her?
No, can I just ask her something?
Yeah, go ahead.
Were you at Epcot behind France at all with that cigarette? You're dropping it a lot. I'm just asking.
I will neither confirm nor deny that,
We
but I did bring a cooler with me.
I knew it.
She's definitely the demographic of Jelly Rolls.
That's what I think.
Oh no.
What are you saying about
I
my
cannot
rolls?
confirm or deny that I saw her at
What are you
Jelly
saying
Rolls the
about
other
my
night.
What are you saying about my rolls?
They're luscious.
Luscious.
Nick, please, cast members. That's 7-0 mistreatment of cast members. All right, yes. 7. The NBA experience versus the closure of Mr. Toad's Wild Ride at Walt Disney World. Nana.
Wow, why you put me on first on this one? Personally, NBA experience because I went there and I also went to what's the other one before?
Disney Quest.
Yeah, I went Disney Quest once and then they just closed it. And I also wasn't there.
Because you went?
I did go. And the closure of Mr. Toad, I wasn't there. I didn't get the ride, so I don't have any emotional connection to it. So NBA experience.
And it's not in Japan, no. The Japanese don't like Mr. Toad.
Well, they like it. But they have
I've never seen a representation of Mr.
Well, every
Toad in
time
that
I
country.
tweet about it, some people's like, "Oh, that's a ikabodoshi." I forgot the Japanese title. They have weird title, but some people know.
Okay.
They're
Is it
popular.
just like translate to the Toad Man?
No. They have totally different names.
The Toad Man drives poorly.
Well, Asian people drive poorly too.
Do you
but-
want to go on the Toad Man drives poorly?
That's my favorite. That's my favorite Marvel.
I
superhero.
love the Toad Man drives poorly. Let us
great.
go.
Nana drives great though. Just saying.
Allie.
Mr. Toad's is a classic, and the NBA experience was not Mr. Toad.
Did you go?
No, I don't need to go. Why would I go to that?
Miss Allison. I know you were a big NBA experience fan.
I know, God.
She can dunk.
She was dunking all over the
my cup
building.
of tea,
That's what we
if
called
I
her.
ever
Duncan
had
Miss
one.
Allison.
Yeah, it was me. And because of that, I felt so excluded. So I'm voting for the NBA experience.
Wow. Are you actually?
I am.
Okay.
Oh, see?
Piano Rob.
I love Mr. Toad, but there is another Mr. Toad. I can still go ride Mr. Toad. The NBA experience was such a waste of that space. Nobody ever cared to use it. I went in. It was actually one of the last things we did before COVID because they were begging people to go in. They were letting cast members bring up to 3 people with them. Did we have a good time in there? Absolutely. But is it worth it as something on a Disney level, on a Disney vacation? It made no sense. NBA experience was definitely a mistake.
Panda.
NBA experience was a mistake. Even diehard basketball people I knew were like, why? No, they didn't survey anyone? I don't get it. So, yeah, NBA.
Nick.
Yeah, it looked pretty bad. I never went, but it has to be the NBA experience as the mistake.
You know, I took my father to the NBA experience, and he loved it. But he may have been one of the 12 people who did. So he loves the NBA, so he had a good time. He also didn't pay. I paid, so that might have been part of it. I'm going with Mr. Toad. I don't want him to lose by that big a margin. We love him. That's why there's several props from his ride in our front of our building. So that's 5-2 for the NBA experience. Its first victory of any kind in its entire existence.
Happy for them.
Yes. All right, next up we have the firing of Tom Staggs versus the My Disney Experience app or the need to use your phone at a Disney theme park. I'm going to try to find my little blurb on Tom Staggs here. It's here somewhere. Where could it be? If I had a blurb on the NBA Experience, oh well, didn't need it.
Oh, well.
It's all right.
Tom is such a popular name.
I don't know where my notes are. I lost
I know,
them.
that's what I thought.
We went in a reverse order than what I had.
Is it on your phone?
No, it's
Oh.
here somewhere. I
Use
can't
your
find Tom Staggs.
imagination.
No, I can't use my imagination. I spent the time to write this. I gotta find
Is
it.
it on the flip side of something?
No, it's not.
No.
Oh, yes. On January
I
1st,
tried.
2010, Tom Staggs became chairman of Walt Disney Parks and Resorts, where he more than doubled the operating profits to $2.66 billion while overseeing the company's theme parks, cruise line, hotel, and resort business. Staggs led the development of the My Magic Plus technology suite and the creation of Avatar-themed land and Animal Kingdom. CEO Bob Iger credited Staggs with leading unprecedented growth and expansion, including the construction of Shanghai Disney. On February 5th of 2015, Staggs was named the Chief Operating Officer of the Walt Disney Company, and despite Disney's rocky history of succession, Staggs was then widely reported as the heir apparent to Bob Iger as CEO. But on April 4, 2016, Disney announced that Staggs and the company had agreed to mutually part ways. Staggs stepped down as COO effective May 6th of 2016, remaining with the company as a special advisor to the CEO until the end of the fiscal year. I don't remember who replaced him at Parks and Resorts. I don't know who that was, but it was not good. And then that's against the My Disney Experience app and the need for a phone in the theme park.
Yep.
Panda, why don't you start us off?
I feel like the theme park is getting like I-4. You turn around, everybody's on their phone. That was a
Get
joke.
like I-4.
Nobody got that. Sorry, I tried really hard. No, but it's true. I don't like the culture of always having to be on your phone. And then I'm going through the Haunted Mansion seance room, and they're all on their phone. I just want to jump out and kill everyone. I don't do that, but I want to.
But then they all look like their faces are floating around
Correct.
Madame Leo.
And I don't need to notice their faces. Half the time, they don't need illumination.
Yeah.
It's pretty bad.
Roberto Keys.
This is a hard one for me. So, I'm going to use this as an example. I am not bragging, but I got to go to Epic a couple of times, and you're not allowed to have your phone out. And it is such an amazing experience to be in a theme park with a bunch of people without, just looking up at the freaking sky and the stuff that other people are doing where you're not constantly down on your phone. And on the flip side, I know Terra Luna just had their media thing. If you see the videos that they have put up, you watch every influencer, and everybody's got their freaking phones in the air, and all you're watching is people with their freaking hands raised. And there's just for me, there's just something about that. He was great. And would he have done great things? Probably. I feel like he didn't want the position too. Was that part of it too? I thought there was a.
They moved him to Parks and Resorts to diversify his knowledge so he could become CEO, and then he did.
So I think I'm gonna go with the phone thing. There's just something special to be more connected to your environment and to leave that piece at home. So yeah, the phone, the need for a phone.
Nick?
I think they're both bad, but the My Disney Experience thing and being on your phone a lot, that's kind of like toothpaste out of a tube type situation. It's already done. It's like, we were going to go that direction anyway. So I'd have to go with Tom Staggs because, again, talking about like the unrealized potential, there could have been something, better in our experience at the parks if he was, if he stayed with the company.
Ms. Allison?
I mean, I really dislike this app. I don't like the app, but I feel like the firing of Tom Staggs is a bigger blow. So that's my vote, Tom Staggs.
Allie?
Unpopular opinion, I hate everybody on their phone, but I don't hate that I can do everything on my phone. Like, I don't have to wait in a line. I can do a mobile order. I can book a return time. I can see wait times and just try to be a little more intelligent when on my phone at the park. I think it makes everything way easier. So Tom Staggs.
Nana?
MDX, because the teacher who bullied me back in the school, he quit the school and he started working as a developer here for the MDX. So that's why I don't like MDX.
Wow.
And then when they published MDX back in 2014-15, it was horrible.
Yeah, it got much better after that.
Yeah.
Yeah, they really fixed it.
He did not. He is the one that created the problem.
You almost said something.
I didn't like it.
I love that the reason is so personal. Like it's so
like,
personal.
This person, well, one of these I'm going to get very personal with. That's later. I'm going with Tom Staggs. Tom Staggs was the man.
Wow.
He was the man. Those 5 years were the best 5 years we had in the 18 years I've been doing this. They fixed California Adventure in a meaningful way. They fixed Hong Kong Disneyland. They even did some good stuff at Walt Disney Studios Paris. They were fixing things. We got a whole new land at the Magic Kingdom for the first time in, God, what was it, 20 years? It was a time of investment, but it was good investment. It was an investment that didn't replace things that were important to the park. It only enhanced what we had. He really got it. He was smart enough to know I'm a numbers guy and this is not my realm of expertise. He was smart enough to let Imagineers in high-ranking positions tell him what made a park good, what made a meaningful experience to guests, what were the right calls to make. He was smart enough to listen to the people that worked with him and let them guide him. And I think that was the biggest loss. I think I would die to see the alternate timeline where Tom Staggs is CEO of the Walt Disney Company. I want to see that world and what it looks like. I'm going with Tom Staggs. 4-3, Staggs over looking at your phone. Nah, this is a weird one. All right, Disneyland closing the Country Bear Jamboree against Walt Disney World closing the Great Movie Ride. Yes. Allie, you want to start us off?
I would love to. This is a tough one, but you can still see the Country Bears here. And I don't hate what they did in the back of Disneyland. That's a whole other thing.
Bayou Country?
Critter Country was cute. We'll leave the rest of that alone. Closing the Great Movie Ride, you ripped the soul out of that park. Great movie ride.
Miss Allison?
I'm still angry about the Great Movie Ride, Tom.
Yeah.
I'm still, yeah.
We all are.
Let him have it, Allison.
Yeah, I'm gonna shake my fist at them, Tom. I'm gonna give them what for. Didn't they announce it and then like 2 weeks later it closed or something? It was like 3 weeks. I didn't even have time to get myself down from New York to go see it one last time.
Yeah.
I'm still angry. Great movie ride, Tom.
Nana?
Well, Nana doesn't like the alien and the Great Movie Ride. They gave me a PTSD.
Deeply personal again.
Well, that scares me all the time.
It scared you? Well, don't worry, he's dead
now. Like, you know, every time I'm coming, I'm like,
Scott just yelled, "It's supposed to scare."
But hey, I'm still mad about the movie ride closed. So, yep, great movie ride. Yep. Otherwise,
Nick?
I'll get fired here. So.
Wow. No, it's Country Bears versus Movie Ride. You can't get fired for either choice. We'll say that. Nick?
I just want to know, where were you when they closed Disneyland's Country Bears? Why didn't you save that one?
I know.
Oh, he can get fired
That's a
today.
good question.
Right?
Fighting words.
Welcome to News Tonight,
I
starring
wasn't,
just
I
Tom
wasn't
Corliss.
old enough yet.
A great movie ride is the bigger mistake.
I saved the last one. Well, that's just Tokyo stuff. Anyway, the original, yeah. Panda.
Nick's not joking. He saved the Bears. I know this for a fact. For real, not a joke. I'm going with the Great Movie Ride. I miss it still. Ready when you are, CB.
Rob, I don't even know if I need to ask you.
No,
this.
you don't. It's like everybody's. It's the heart and soul of the park. It's not just such an original, amazing attraction. Again, we talk about the identity crisis of the studios. A big part of that starts with ripping out this ride. You know, it started before it, but ripping out this ride was bad. So, movie ride.
I don't understand, in an era where IP infusion in the parks is so important, why someone would look at that building and go, "Man, there's a ride where you can promote 25 IPs at once.
Right.
Let's rip it out for one." Instead of updating it with the IPs that we make money off of. Like, what an incredibly dumb decision. And then they bought most of the IP in the ride anyway. 7-0 Great Movie Ride. Absolutely. What are the Crawl? Did the Crawl get someone? Okay. Oh yeah. Never mind. I see which one it is. All right. Next matchup. Don't look. Next matchup. Promoting Paul Pressler versus the 55 farewells of the Main Street Electrical Parade. Now, I know Paul Pressler was a long time ago, so I do have a blurb on Paul Pressler. He began at Disney in 1987 in consumer products. Stop me if you've heard this one before. Who else started in consumer products? With general responsibilities for merchandise licensing, he was promoted to the head of the Disney stores in 1992. He was named the president of the Disneyland Resort on November 7th, 1994. In 1998, he was named president of Walt Disney Attractions, and in 2000, he became chairman. He left Disney in September of 2002. Now, while he was in charge of Disneyland Resort, just to give you a taste of this piece of garbage, on December 24th, 1998, a guest was killed when a mooring line ripped a cleat from the bow of the sailing ship Columbia and catapulted into a crowd. It turned out these were known maintenance issues that everyone knew this was a problem and looked the other way because no one wanted to spend the money under Paul Pressler to get this fixed. Obviously, beyond that, Disneyland, beginning in 1994, begins a steep decline from which they wouldn't get out of for probably another decade at least. Some of which we'll cover when we get to Miss Cynthia Harris a little later. But there's Paul Pressler for you. And then that's up against the Electrical Parade Farewells, which just a quick note on that. I don't know if I need to give you a quick history on those, but there's been a lot of them. The Electrical Parade at Disneyland closed on November 25th, 1996 after a long and much promoted farewell campaign. And you could even buy light bulbs certified as being part of the show. The show's replacement, Light Magic, opened in 1997 to, let's just say, disappointing results. That had one run for one season and never returned. The parade ended its first run at Magic Kingdom on April 1st, 2001. Neither of these farewells, and none since, have been permanent. Even though they were heavily marketed, there was merchandise, you bought the real light bulbs, they still came back to both coasts several times. So Paul Pressler versus the Main Street Electrical Parade. Miss Allison, start us off.
Sure. Fun fact, I actually have one of those light bulbs at my house. I bought one of them. Do you really?
How many people have a light bulb? Look how many people have a light bulb. There were 1 million, I mean.
But I bought it every time they canceled it. I have like 5 light bulbs.
Do you use them around the house now? You're like,
When I watch the parade, I look for the one that's not there, and I think
And you're
maybe
still
I
not
have.
any brighter.
Not at all brighter. Stupider,
He
actually.
can make his own Osborne family lights, just right with all of the other ones in
Look
there.
for mine, that's out. I got the bulb here.
So I didn't have too much background information on Paul Pressler, and the more that I read, the more I disliked this individual.
Yeah.
I was like, wow, this person is on this list for a reason.
Yeah.
So I'm voting for him.
Allie?
Not good.
Yeah, F that guy.
We're going to get Kevin to talk about Paul Pressler. Nana?
Nana go with DP because Nana love DP and DP just comes and goes and never leaving. And I'm hoping DP to come back again, so DP. Woohoo!
Electrical Parade. Nick?
I mean, I hope the electrical parade never goes away. Keep bringing it back. That's cool. I mean, it's actually an interesting idea if they do keep bringing it back, right, for special occasions. But Paul Pressler, I mean, again, another thing I didn't know about till I met you, and then you talked about him all the time. And great.
I have a
stories.
thing for bad executives.
Yeah.
Panda?
I would have picked Electrical Parade had you not taught us about Paul Pressler. So now I'm going with Paul Pressler.
Yeah.
Piano Rob?
What was it? I'll take as many good farewell tours of a good thing. Like, do that over and over again if it's good. 2, I would love to hear Roger Rabbit say promoting Paul Pressler. And 3, I hope he is a staple in Villains Land. It is definitely Paul Pressler.
I'm going to say this much. Bob Chapek looks like Michael Eisner compared to Paul Pressler.
Wow.
Like someone legitimately an awful human being. But anyway, like knowingly put people in danger. Paul Pressler, 6-1, Paul Pressler. All right, next matchup is the removal of the Cinderella Castle holiday dream lights from Magic Kingdom. Nana, calm down. Versus Walt Disney Studios Paris. The whole thing. Just the decision to build it. Now, for those that don't know, that park opened in 2002. There was a contractual obligation to build another park. That being said, they built that park. I'm not going to give you more history than that. I'm going to tell you one anecdote. And the anecdote is that there's a famous story from an Imagineer. They took someone into the park from backstage. They took another Imagineer in, and they were walking through the park, and the Imagineer goes, when do we get on stage? And the Imagineer goes, we are on stage. Oh. That's how ugly the park was. They thought they were still backstage at the park. Yeah, that's how bad it was. Nana, you let out a noise, so you get to go first.
I love Castle Dream Lights. And I'm still mad that they are not bringing back because they say, oh, it's going to damage the castle. I don't care. I want my lights back.
Good. You don't care about her house.
No.
F her house.
But I want my lights back. Because Disneyland have it still. Why can't we have it?
Well, because someone just gets up on a ladder for that one.
I was telling them earlier. I'll work to put the lights on. I'll go and put it.
That's not how they do it.
It's fine. We'll do it.
Allie.
The Castle Dreamlights were beautiful, but like this is an entire park that sucks. So that.
Miss Allison.
I went to Disney Paris once, and I walked around the studios, and I'm like, wait, this is it? I'm done? I was very confused, so studios is my vote.
Okay. Rob.
The park is a mistake, but I do feel that they can always add to parks and fix the parks, and they've done that in many cases. The dream lights, to me, it's not just about the lights, it's the fact that we're switching totally to this projection mapping versus things that are more practical. And I love the technology, but I don't want to lose all my practical effects all the time. So for that reason, I'm picking the dream lights.
Panda.
Dream lights, you couldn't even video them and show them to someone. It didn't do it justice. They were gorgeous, and no projection is replacing dream lights.
Nick.
They're just Christmas lights. No, I'm just kidding. Actually.
Oh, wait, this one's different now.
Actually, I'm voting for these lights.
Oh, come on.
Yeah, I was going to bring up the same thing they just did. Like, yeah.
Okay.
I'm voting for the lights.
I'm picking Walt Disney Studios Paris because it's a turd. It's a turd, and the building of this, like, doomed the resort for a long time. Like, they're still just investing in that park. For all you want to talk about the failures of DCA or Hong Kong Disneyland, they did one big round of improvements at those parks and in a lot of ways fixed them to the point that people enjoy them now. We're on the third go. This is the third major round of investments in this park, the third big expansion in this park, and people are still like, it still won't be good. It's not enough. That's how bad that park was to start. So I'm going with Paris. So that's 4-3 for the Dreamlights, though. All right. Next up, the introduction of alcohol at Castle Parks against the return of Bob Iger. I'm not going to read you the blurbs on these. Whatever makes the next round, I'll read it then. Panda, start us off.
I was happy Bob Iger was returning. I don't know why I was, because he didn't do anything.
Because the last guy was the worst.
And now Bob Iger just seems to be the worst also. So
Yeah.
no, Bob Iger is my mistake.
Panera.
Ooh, this is a tough one. I am still a purist and a traditionalist when it comes to Walt's visions, and you see it with some of the fighting that has happened at Magic Kingdom. I kind of like that was a dry park. I think there was something. It gave it a little something special. It made it more family. It kept certain types of people that wanted that type of entertainment, shall we say, only. Bob Iger coming back, what else were you going to do at that point? Who else, like, I don't know who else you were going to bring at that point.
You couldn't promote anyone. He fired them all.
I mean, that's you're right.
He knew the writing was on the wall, so he just fired all his replacements.
But I'm still going to say the alcohol, specifically in the Castle Parks. You can get it other places.
Yeah.
You didn't need it there.
Miss Allison?
So I was going back and forth on these two, and I wasn't sure what I was going to vote for. So I actually texted Desi, and I asked her, and she said that she would vote for Bob Iger because she enjoys being able to walk around with beverages around Disneyland Paris, and that she actually needs a drink because she has kids. So
well, that's the one where you
just
can
to
walk around with
contradict.
alcoholic drink. The other ones you still can't walk outside with them.
Ah.
Paris, pretty much since the early days you could.
But I'm going to go with Desi's vote, and I'm going to vote for Bob Iger.
There you go. Allie?
I'm certainly less problematic after a drink or two, so I'm going to go with Bob Iger.
Nana?
Bob Iger, because he didn't bring
Wow.
back any entertainment yet.
Yep.
Well, not everything, but
That's fair.
yeah, I love entertainment. You know that.
Thanks, Nana.
Bob Iger coming back couldn't be a mistake because it kicked out my least favorite person on earth. So I'm going to vote for alcohol. Not, to be clear though, to fight Rob's point, it's at table service restaurants. It's just beer and wine. I don't know that anyone's getting sloshed enough at Skipper Canteen. I don't know. I think it's before they get to the park. I'm looking at you, Darlene. She doesn't. Wow. I think they have them a couple in the parking lot.
She's got them in her hair. She's got them ready to go.
How do you think she got the one in her hair? Nick?
So I texted Sabrina to help me out with this one. And I said,
where's she tonight?
Sorry, Darlene was just hotboxing a Skyliner.
But I asked Sabrina, I said,
her
can you
friend Castle
remind
Greenwood.
me about the first rule of liquid magic? If there's no alcohol, add alcohol. Add alcohol to a Castle Park. It's perfectly fine. So I'm voting for Bob Iger.
Wow, that's 5-2, the
Yes.
return of Bob Iger.
Yes.
All right, our last matchup in the quadrant, the Tomorrowland Cabanas versus Euro Disney. I am going to explain the Cabanas because I know there are a lot of people who maybe weren't chronically online at that moment, and so I think I have to mention what these were. In late 2016, early 2017, guests could rent a cabana in Tomorrowland near Space Mountain. The cabanas accommodated up to 8 guests and were available at a rental price of $649 a day. Amenities included private shaded seating, including a couch, snacks, a fruit basket, cold beverages, and reserved viewing of parades and fireworks. Cabanas also included a lockable storage trunk, charging stations, personalized Mickey ears, sunscreen, hand sanitizer, and insect repellent. A small refrigerator, delivery of ice cream novelties once, and food delivery service for a price. Those were the cabanas. Euro Disney, of course, it's a beautiful park. They built too many hotel rooms. There are financial problems. And those financial problems, if you've ever read the history of anything in the 1990s at a Disney park, there was a grander idea, and the reason they didn't build it was because Euro Disney tanked. So a lot of really great projects. Tomorrowland 2055 at Disneyland, or Roger Rabbit's Hollywood, or there's a million projects we could name that died because of Euro Disney. But either way. Who hasn't started us off yet? Has everyone started us off at this point? All right, I don't think I've started us off. I'm going to start us off. I can't, even though Euro Disney destroyed things for a long time, that park is beautiful, and I don't want to consider that a mistake. Even though mistakes were made, I just can't. It's too great. The cabanas have to be one of the dumbest ideas anyone's ever come up with. The fact that they set up plain white, little tents, rentable tents in Tomorrowland outside Space Mountain, and built a little refugee village in front of that ride. It was the ugliest thing. I don't know who was buying it, who thought that was a value. I don't get it.
Did you ever get one to review it?
Josh and I were going to book it,
Yeah.
and then they ended them. They realized how bad they were, and as soon as we were going to do it, they cut it off. Nick, go ahead.
I mean, the cabanas were great comedy fodder, so there's no way I could vote for them. So I'm voting for Euro Disney.
Okay. Panda?
I don't understand. You're in the Magic Kingdom. What are you doing
It's
sitting?
so good.
$600 worth in a cabana? Cabanas. Stupid.
Rob?
I mean, nothing says the future like paying for a bunch of stuff you don't really need, right? But yeah, I mean, Euro Disney was a major. That was a major issue, though. That was I haven't visited that park yet. I can't wait to. It's turning out okay, but at the time, what a mistake that was. I'm gonna say Euro Disney.
Miss Alice.
I remember when it opened and how the news was just so bad. I mean, the cabanas are hilarious, but I'm voting for Euro Disney.
Allie?
I Googled the cabanas. Those also looked hysterical. But Euro Disney, that was bad.
Nana?
Cabana. It was just mismatched.
Nana Cabana.
Yep.
That's 4-3 for Euro Disney. That's the end of the quadrant. Eric and Darlene, back to you.
Well, thank you very much, Tom. That was a little bit less dramatic, I guess, that round. We do have one super chat. This is from Nate Fielder for $10. Has got to represent Eric here from Mr. Toad. So Mr. Toad, it makes it a little closer. Does not flip that matchup. I think, there were a couple shutouts. We had the treatment of CMs during COVID, beating the City of Celebration existing. Mr. Toad goes down to the NBA experience. Who hasn't? The firing of Tom Staggs trumps my Disney experience. The Country Bear Jamboree in Disneyland got 0 votes versus closing the great movie ride. Promoting Paul Pressler, a dominant victory, 6-1 over the Main Street Electrical Parade and all its many farewells. The Castle Dreamlights, 4-3 over Walt Disney Studios in Paris. The introduction of alcohol to Castle Parks only scores 2 points. Bob Iger returning is 5. And I actually don't have the final score of the Tomorrowland Cabanas, but
4-3 Euro Disney over Cabana.
Euro Disney wins 4-3. I think that matchup was really decided not by Euro Disney, but by the other things that were unable to be done because everyone was gun shy from Euro Disney. Is that correct? Disneyland Paris kind of caused a lot of problems throughout the company in the future, Darlene?
Listen, I'm really kind of confused by this because I've been to Paris, Texas, and I didn't see no Disney there. So I'm not sure where they were hiding, and maybe that's part of the problem, is that they just didn't make a big splash and were very visible. So I could see how that would be a dilemma for the company. I mean, here they got a big castle, so I don't understand what the problem was.
Yeah, the Castle Dreamlights, those are pretty great. You have good memories of the Castle Dreamlights?
Well, listen. See, I remember sleeping underneath them at one point, but then it got a little too bright, so I was real glad when they took them away.
You made a comment to me during the panel that you were not aware that alcohol wasn't previously allowed in the castle.
I had no idea. I didn't even know. I didn't even know it wasn't allowed. It was illegal. I didn't know.
Just in your cooler?
I just show up with my cooler and my cigarettes, and we just had a party. It was nice.
Did you know that you can't smoke in the parks?
When did that happen? I didn't even know. I just walk in, they go, "Hey, Darlene." I say, "Hey, how's it going?"
Well, like Panda said, you can only smoke if you're backstage in France, I believe.
I mean, I spend a lot of time backstage places, so it doesn't surprise me. Also, I had a couple questions. So this rentable tent thing, like I can rent them to people, and people just buy them, rent them out from me.
No, that Disney rented them to people, darling.
So they stole my idea. How do I sue? That's all I need to know because I've been renting tents for a while now.
Well, you can talk to Dan Newland. His commercials are all over the TV here. He's also I'm not kidding. He's also the United States ambassador to Colombia now. Did you know that?
No,
he can't just win you money. He can also go to Colombia and fight on your behalf.
Well, that's fantastic because I've been to Columbia, South Carolina, and it is a place worth fighting for. That's all I'm going to say about that. I also wanted to know, can we get a Stags party?
Okay.
Is that allowable? And on top of that, how do I experience an NBA player? That's all I need to know.
Well, you missed
Do
your
they
window
show
when the
up
bubble
to the
was here.
Stags party?
She also told me that she heard that the Wonders of Life Pavilion had some kind of buzz that went missing. I think you misunderstood. That was Buzzy in animatronics. So.
Oh, you don't get buzz there.
No. Look, we have. I'm told.
That's disappointing.
Yep. I'm told our correspondent on the street, Kevin, is back. Kevin is back to give us some information about what's going on down there. Kevin, over to you.
Do I have I have a couple questions about Paul Pressler.
Oh, no.
But first of all, I want to talk about this parking situation that I experienced over at Animal Kingdom. Okay, now, the retards over at Disneyland are able to park people in the Mickey and Friends parking structure. They have two lines going in, 2 lines at a time, and they can park these people pretty efficiently to where they can get to the parks quickly. Now, Animal Kingdom, on the other hand, have 2 lines going into their parking area, but they only let 1 line go for a good 10 minutes before they let the next line go into the same row. I'm not sure why they do that, why you would have to sit there and wait for your line to go in and park. Again, if I'm sitting in a line waiting, whether it's in the parking lot or in the park, I'm not spending money. So somehow they need to contact the people at Disneyland at the Mickey and Friends parking structure so they can get these people in and out of Animal Kingdom. I did experience at Epcot, it wasn't that bad, but definitely at Animal Kingdom to where instead of just parking 1 row at a time, they could probably take a couple rows, a gap between parking cars and get people in faster. Now to Paul Pressler.
Oh, no.
This guy was the biggest waste of time. And let me tell you, Tony Baxter had a great idea with Westcott. And if they had let Westcott take place, that whole Anaheim area would have blew up a lot quicker. Because I would have stayed there. I would have tried to experience all the hotels that they would have had in the park. But good old Pressman, the lunatic that he was, I'm glad he went to the Gap because he ended up screwing up that company too. He didn't need to be, well, I think he called himself the mayor of Anaheim. I'm not sure how he came up with that, but he was no mayor. He was just, no, I can't say that. So, Paul Pressler, you suck.
All right. Thank you, Kevin. Thank you for the tremendous insight. I'm now filling out my bracket of biggest mistakes in WDW News Tonight history.
That wasn't so bad. He talked about the retarring of the parking lot.
no.
It wasn't.
Let's-
I don't know what
let's
you
move
heard.
on.
That's what was said.
Let's
They were
move.
retarring the parking lot.
Somehow you were not making it any
I thought
better.
we were redoing those police boxes over at that UK pavilion. What are they called? TARDISes? So I thought we were just redoing them all, and I was down for it. I didn't know what was going on.
Oh, man. I'm going to be laying in bed later tonight thinking of all the ways I could have handled this.
You think you're getting home tonight? We're not. We're halfway there.
And I could barely see. Yes,
We're
we've hit
living
the,
on a prayer.
We've hit the mileposts, so to speak. All right. The next round, we're going to have tiered classes of guests.
There's still more?
Oh, yeah. Versus Rivers of Light. Toy Story Land versus the original Hong Kong Disneyland. Epcot 2019 to 2024 reimagining versus the 1990s reimagining of Epcot. The Loss of Spectro Magic versus not making a deal with J.K. Rowling. The monorail maintenance and expansion, or lack thereof, I guess, versus Star Wars Galactic Star Cruiser. Shanghai Disneyland versus hard-ticketed events. Not caring about sightlines or lands against DVC. And Disney Disney Quest Chicago versus the new DAS system, the Disability Access Service changes. So we send it back down under the rotunda to you, Tom.
Well, thank you very much. All right, Katie, what are we starting with the tiered classes against Rivers of Light? Is that right? All right, cool. So tiered classes of guests, we kind of alluded to this a little bit with paid Fast Pass, but again, not just this, but dessert parties, different benefits for different guests, VIP tours, things of that, things in that vein, things that separate guests based on how much money they have versus don't. And that is up against Rivers of Light, the failed nighttime show at Disney's Animal Kingdom, which I think I had a quick blurb on, but I don't know. It's here somewhere. Either way. Oh, here's Rivers of Light. Real quick recap on Rivers of Light. Rivers of Light was a nighttime show at Animal Kingdom. The show featured water, fountains, mist screens, floating lanterns, fire effects, lasers, lights, fog, projection, etc. Until September 2018, it also had live performers. They gave up on that pretty quick. It was first announced in October of 2013, including Pandora, the World of Avatar, and as well a nocturnal version of Kilimanjaro Safaris, which just, I think, barely missed this list. Remember when there was a speaker playing hippo noises up in a tree? Remember that? The show was originally supposed to premiere on April 22nd of 2016, Earth Day, the park's 18th anniversary, but on April 5th, it was announced the show had been delayed and would not be able to meet the deadline. A portion of the show was previewed to the media on April 19th, when it was also announced that the Jungle Book Alive with Magic, a limited engagement show based on the 2016 live-action film, would fill the space of the delayed Rivers of Light. That show ran until September 5th. On February 9th, 2017, Rivers of Light would finally be announced to open on February 17th, but began previews on February 10th. They then retooled Rivers of Light to Rivers of Light We Are One, which debuted on Memorial Day weekend 2019. It lasted until March of 2020 when the resort closed due to the pandemic. In July of 2020, without even giving it a chance to return, the park officials confirmed that the show was forever retired. Rivers of Light. Panda's covering his face. So Panda, what was worse, the tiered classes of guests or Rivers of Light?
I think tiered classes of guests is always going to be. You're always going to, there's a deluxe room and there's a regular room. I don't find that too odd. But Rivers of Light, I learned my lesson. Joe Rohde got me hyped up about it. I thought it was going to be something. I could not believe the disappointment. And I've learned since then, I don't believe anything.
Piano Rob.
So I wish Rivers of Light was better. I want that spot to be good. I think that it deserves a show that's good, but there's just something missing with these shows. But the tiered class of guests, I understand if you pay for a deluxe resort, you get the different thing. I understand that. But when everybody enters that theme park, I feel like everybody should kind of be treated, like, especially when it comes to children, it should be equal in the park.
You're not going to go to a better restaurant if you have more money?
Well, that's different. You're choosing where to eat.
He said dessert parties. I'm choosing whether to go or not. I don't know.
Yeah.
But then they walk you in front of the pores, and you stand in front of them.
I mean, I think you're right. I mean, you know what's funny when you put it like that, because we have other things for paid fast pass and some other things to the bottom. I think I will go with Rivers of Light on this one.
Woo!
Yeah, Rivers of Light.
Nick?
Yeah, that was an interesting debate there. No, seriously. Like, I kind of...
That was interesting music, Marty.
I actually liked Rivers of Light. I enjoyed it somewhat. I did. Maybe it was just seeing a nighttime show in that theater. I liked the music. I kind of liked it. So I'm going with the tiered classes of guests.
No.
I love River of Light.
Thank you.
There's so many R's and now I can't say it. But
We've had enough R words.
yeah, but I don't like tiered class of guests because, right, Allie? During the holiday, a lot of those people coming in and they think they are entitled for every single thing that they can think about, and I don't like those people. So, entitled people. Well, that's entitled people.
That's not the thing. But
you know what I mean? Like tiered people,
Yeah,
they pay
okay.
more, so they think they entitled for everything, like more service, more better, like this, it. Oh, nope.
I didn't hate Rivers of Light. Was it great? No, but it was fine. I don't like the tiered classes of people. Because I'll never be one of the fancy people.
Japanese people, bro.
Not with that attitude. Miss Allison?
Yeah, I'm going to vote for the tiered passes of guests, too. Rivers of Light wasn't great, but
I'm going with Rivers of Light. I love, there was about 4 minutes of Rivers of Light that I loved. When the little animal floats would come out, and the music was all fun, and the animal floats would come out and dance, and then they'd go through the water screen, and I liked that, and then the rest was abysmal. And now we have to stare at this big empty amphitheater. I'm going Rivers of Light, but tiered classes of guests wins 4-3 there. Next up we have Toy Story Land, all of them, against the original Hong Kong Disneyland. A quick note on the original Hong Kong Disneyland: it was a severely budget-cut park. There were not a lot of attractions. At one point, the Jungle Cruise was so bad that Imagineers fought to add a unique scene to it because they came in and convinced Michael Eisner this would be relatively cheap and I could deliver it for this little of an amount, and that's the only thing that really saved that attraction. And at one point, the castle was a series of flats, like the It's a Small World facade in a Mary Blair style, because that would be cheaper than building a real castle. Luckily, those things got fixed, but there wasn't much to do in the park. A lot of people complained early on, and they had to quickly expand. So, the Toy Story Land, all of them, versus the original Hong Kong Disneyland. Nana, you want to start us off?
Toy Story Land, because they broke my Hollywood studio.
Allie.
I was so excited when I heard Toy Story Land was coming, and it sucks. Toy Story Land, burn it down.
Miss
With the
Alice.
pier.
With the pier, yep.
Yeah, I don't like Toy Story Land. I'm not going to burn it down, but
We should burn it down.
I guess your mic's dead.
is it dead? Did I forget to...
What'd you say, Miss Allison? Will keep us rolling. What was it? Toy Story Land? Okay. That's 3 for Toy Story Land already. Nick?
I would go Toy Story Land as well. Again, missed potential. Like, people don't like it. It's a great IP, and it just misses.
Ben?
I agree Toy Story Land has missed potential, but I enjoy Slinky Dog. You're telling me the castle was flats going up, and I think that's the
Well,
bigger
supposed to
mistake. So I'm going with Hong Kong Disneyland was the bigger mistake.
You know what I love about Slinky Dog? The part where you see Andy's mom's shed. The big green shed, Andy's mom's gardening shed.
What does she have going on there?
I don't know. Piano Rob?
I don't like what Toy Story Land replaced, obviously. We lost a lot of that. And I do think it needs, I wish it had more of a play area. It needs more of a feel of that Honey, I Shrunk the Kids theme park. It definitely is missing that. But these budget cut parks are a problem. Like, I don't know why we're diving into these projects if we can't properly complete, like, you're Disney, you're the #1 company for this. Like I know they're fixing it. It's not the problem, but because it's saying the original here, the original Hong Kong was a bigger mistake, definitely.
You know, the original Hong Kong Disneyland is not a great park, but they did pick the most beautiful location of any park in the world. It's gorgeous. It's essentially a tropical paradise with the Disney park in it, and the castle up against real mountains is the most unbelievable sight in any Disney park in the world. Toy Story Land, there's nothing good to look. The purple
More than
glasses.
Tokyo Disney, see?
What?
You said that Hong Kong is the best.
It's the most beautiful location of a park.
Oh, so my hammer's not enough?
No, it's on reclaimed land. It's literally sitting on like a garbage field.
Yeah, that is true.
It's my favorite place in the world, but Hong Kong Disneyland is just, they did something right at least in picking the location, and they built off of that. So I think at least had a good foundation, even if they didn't put anything on top of the foundation. The foundation was at least strong. I'm going Toy Story Land. I hate that land. It is junk. It's for kids. There were plenty of things that were for kids that we grew and loved even later in life, like Muppet Vision and other attractions that are, again, probably more intended for a younger audience, but speak to everyone. Toy Story Land should speak to everyone. It should not be a budget cut thing that only applies to you if you're young enough to not realize that it's kind of a Six Flags land. So, all right, this next one's going to be tough.
No.
We have the two reimaginings of Epcot are up against each other. So the Epcot reimagining of the 1990s, sometimes referred to as Project Gemini, that would include a number of changes. That would be Ellen's Energy Adventure, Test Track. We're talking about the first bad Journey into Imagination, Journey into Your Imagination. We have the change from Listen to the Land to Living with the Land, Kitchen Cabaret to Food Rocks. All of those changes in the 90s. But then we have that up against the 2019 to 2024. And I don't need to tell you what was in that one. So you all lived through that one. So which one is worse? Was the 90s reimagining of Epcot Center worse, or was the most recent 5 years the worst? Panda's nodding, so
The most recent 5 years was worse because there wasn't any reimagining. I remember going into the Odyssey building and seeing all the stuff that was coming. I don't think any, right? Remember that? Yeah.
Almost none of it.
None of it.
China Film, Mary Poppins.
Please, the double-decker, oh, please.
The Festival Pavilion building, yeah.
Now
with
the lights.
with the swing that hung from the ceiling all the way to the ground.
We didn't get a reimagining. They said the transformation of Epcot is now complete. So that.
Piano Rob.
This is hard.
No, it's not.
No, it's not.
See, I think, though, you got to really realize the things that we lost in that when they were doing that. Like, that includes Horizons, too, right? In that first one?
It closed in the 90s. Yeah, I'll consider. I'll go up to Mission Space.
So that's
I
what
would
I mean.
Consider
So
that
so
like from the early 90s through to Mission Space.
So we lost the original Universe of Energy. You lost Horizons. You lost World of Motion. You lost the original Imagination. I did like Food Rocks. Kitchen Cabaret is great, but I love Food Rocks, so I don't mind that change. These other changes did bring me Guardians, which I love that ride. I don't know if that's where it needed to be, but I do love that ride. But I kind of think that, like, they were both bad moves. Like, obviously that's why they're on the list. But I think the worst move might have been changing that original Imagination and all that original stuff. I think you really changed Epcot then. I'm going to go with the 90s one.
It did set the stage.
Nick.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the 90s one as well, because that did open up the floodgates to make other changes, right? It's like, so it kind of led to potentially other things. And so it was a more devastating change, because I actually, I mean, I love Guardians. I like Ratatouille. I mean, I like some of the things that they've done. Moana, I mean, the stuff is decent. It's just not, maybe where we want it or how we want it, but I like what they added recently.
Okay. I am going with the most recent. Because even, no matter what you don't like about the 90s, there were still, the fundamentals were still great, right? We still had an illumination show in Reflections of Earth that was fantastic, as opposed to this recent update where we did such a bad time the first time out, it took till, what, 2023 to finally get a show that was okay? Like okay enough to sit in the lagoon? Also, we kept the original integrity. We realized the Communicore buildings worked. They made sense. The Fountain of Nations made sense. They upgraded the Fountain of Nations rather than removed it. They brought it up to snuff with current day technology, dancing water fountain technology of that time. Test Track was a great attraction. Say what you will about World of Motion, Test Track was wonderful. Ellen's Energy Adventure, I'll be honest with you, the original Universe Energy was pretty boring. It was not great. The songs were fantastic, but it was not super interesting. I think Ellen was better. Now, was Figment worse? Yeah, can't argue that one. But I think overall, in total, more of the DNA of Epcot survived. And in some ways, like a new Epcot that we fell in love with existed. Think about Electric Umbrella. Think about the music loop. Who doesn't miss that Interventions area music loop? That's from the 90s redo. And that became synonymous with the park. I certainly remember that a lot more than I remember the old loop that was up there when I was a kid. I'm going, the 2000s one is the bad one, I'm sorry, or the 2020s. Nana.
Oh, whoa. Epcot 2019-24 Reimagining is horrible because I had a dream to skinny dip at the Fountain of Nation to get banned in the future, but they took it and then now it becomes Epcot Tussy now. So I do not like the new one. I miss my fountain.
Nope. Don't say that word again. There's enough we have to edit out of this show, baby.
Too late.
Hawaiians are out of control.
All you Hawaiians ruining the show. Allie, go ahead.
The most recent one is horrible.
Miss Allison.
I fully agree with Tom. I think that you have the 90s reimagining of Epcot, and I think that the 2000s is more of an unimagining as opposed to a reimagining.
Yeah. That's 5-2, the 2019 to 2024 over the 1990s. Next up, the removal of SpectroMagic and leaving it outside to rot so it couldn't return versus not striking a deal with J.K. Rowling to bring Harry Potter to the Disney parks. Nana, why don't you show us up?
SpectroMagic. There is no other comment but SpectroMagic.
Allie?
The first time my parents took me to Disney World was in 1989, and the only thing I remember was like the parade.
That was Electrical Parade, though.
Was it?
Yeah, SpectroMagic was 91.
Oh, that's what I remember. Okay, 1994 then. 94. I remember SpectroMagic.
Oh, okay.
It was 94 then, that one. But that's like the only thing I remember was that parade. Jake, I love Harry Potter, and I'm curious to see what Disney would have done with that, but I also don't feel like it's very Disney.
Don't go Universal.
I've been to Universal.
Don't go.
You took me yesterday. You dragged me there.
That's not Universal. That's a
Why'd you drag her to Universal?
No, Terra Luna.
To Terra Luna.
Oh, Terra Luna. You guys were working, yeah.
Yeah,
but we met Frank.
We were working.
Miss Allison.
I don't know what's
They
going
met
on.
Frank the Pug.
Yeah.
Oh, you met the pug.
You met the pug.
I just missed the pug when I went to the other one. I'm
This
so
is the most
upset.
excited I've ever seen anyone for anything at
as
Universal.
soon as
I saw him and I missed
Oh,
him.
he's
You gotta come with me then, man. I love it.
I'm so upset.
Yeah.
Next time.
I'll bring my pug tomorrow.
Please do.
Can we put your pug in a little suit?
Sure.
Okay. Then,
That'd be great.
Miss Allison, pick something,
Oh, okay.
please. It's 11 o'clock.
Oh God.
We have to come back tomorrow.
I think that it's actually better that they didn't take a deal with J.K. Rowling. I think that it's better in Universal than Disney would have made it. So I'm absolutely voting SpectroMagic.
I'm going to say something. I think with what kind of psychopath she's become and the reputation of the Walt Disney Company, I think they would have felt pressured to remove it.
Absolutely.
I absolutely think so. I think Universal, like, say what you will, we want to talk about Universal quality. We're going to talk about Comcast as a company. We're not going to talk about theme park quality. Comcast as a company does not have the creative legacy nor the legacy of family entertainment that the Walt Disney Company has. There are different standards as far as what these companies represent and their history and their story. The Walt Disney Company could never be associated with someone that says the things that J.K. Rowling says. I'm sorry, but also Spectra was still my favorite thing I've ever seen in any park. I miss it every day. I love it. I'm going with Spectra. Rob?
I'm with you. Spectra's the best parade that they've had. And the J.K. Rowling thing, she was a mess. They would have possibly had to tear everything out from the anti-trans stuff. You can't do that with Disney. It's not going to be as big a deal with Universal. It hasn't been as big a deal with the theme park. So definitely Spectra Magic.
It's only because she was so difficult to work with, she walked away and Universal said, we'll do whatever you want. And that's the only reason it happened.
Exactly.
Disney tried to teach her how theme parks worked and that you couldn't make every single guest walk one at a time through a brick wall into an entire land. And she didn't understand that. Then she went to Universal and they just made an open brick wall that no one could find. So, whatever. Panda.
Spectral Magic all the way.
Nick.
Spectra.
That's 7-0 Spectra. Yeah, 7.
Yeah, that's right, though.
All right. Monorail maintenance and expansion, the lack thereof, versus the Star Wars Galactic Star Cruiser. This is another 2-4. You could either be the mistake was building the Star Wars Galactic Star Cruiser, or the mistake could be how it was operated and the decision to close the Galactic Star Cruiser. In the case of the monorail, we're talking about the maintenance problems that began post the monorail accident in 2009. There were a number of new systems installed. The monorail became less reliable. They then kind of ran them into the ground over the years. Of course, in recent years, they have put money back in. They're running better now than they were. Maybe not still as great as they used to, but better than they were. And of course, we're talking about never expanding it. There were hundreds and hundreds of examples, it feels like, of times they were going to expand it. At one point, it was going to run to the Disney Village or downtown Disney. They could have been run to other parks, certainly after Epcot, and it wasn't. Instead, they opted for the Skyliner. So what's the bigger mistake? Not investing, continue to invest in the monorails and expanding the monorails, or the Star Wars Galactic Star Cruiser? Nick?
Based on what you and everybody else says about the Star Cruiser, I think the mistake is closing it. That was a shame.
I'm going to jump in, and I agree with Nick. Like, look, I agree with the monorail thing too, but Star Cruiser, I think, was that moment. There are very few moments where something opens where it changes the industry, where it is a new, and in this line of work, a lot has been done. People have done a lot of different things, and I will say this right now. There are things I have seen on the entertainment side of Epic, which good for Universal, that definitely feel inspired by decisions that were made at Galactic Star Cruiser. And at the same time, there are things that were done on the Disney Treasure that are directly inspired by the entertainment that was on the Star Cruiser. So clearly, it had an impact. It was a creative, interesting thing that changed the industry, and no one wanted to believe in it and continue to invest in it and let it grow and continue to inspire the industry. So that's 2 for Star Cruiser. Panda?
Yeah, Star Cruiser. I wish it would have been transformed, tweaked, not abandoned as quick as it was.
Rob?
So I'm voting for Star Cruiser, but for different reasons. And it would be interesting if we do this. We're still doing this ridiculous show in 20 years, and we look at this now. But because like you're saying, if they go forward with this type of theming in the future, this type of experience, maybe it would be great. But at this current time, this price point was ridiculous. This was never going to be sustainable. So the money that they lost on it, depending now, maybe it's going to look like a good thing in the future if we move forward with this. But I think the making it now was a wrong use of the space in that area. It added to the problems with Galaxy's Edge. I'm going to say the Star Cruiser for that reason.
Nana?
Well, originally I was gonna go with monorail because look at our monorail in Tokyo, looks fancy, running fantastic. But I missed the opportunity to go to Galactic Star Cruiser because of price-wise, right? If they had a little cheaper, like price of cruise, then yeah. So I'll go say, not cruise, but Galactic Cruiser.
Star Cruiser, not even a competition.
Miss Allison?
What's funny is that twice a year that Lucas actually goes with me to the Disney parks, what he does is he will, on purpose, he will walk underneath the monorail track or take the monorail on purpose so that if it breaks down that they have to they're compelled to give him something.
Wow.
That's a thing.
He's quite the character.
Yes. So I will vote for the Star Cruiser.
Wow, just because you're mad that he does that.
I think it's
That's
hilarious
7.
that he does
I didn't
it.
expect that. 7-0 for Star Cruiser over the monorail. Yeah, 7. Next up, we've got the building of a park in Shanghai, China versus hard-ticketed events. We're talking about having all these hard-ticket events, Disney After Hours, Christmas Party, Halloween Party, Jollywood Nights, Villains After Hours, all these events that an added price to enjoy the park again after daytime. Again versus, again, a park in communist China where they had a number of construction problems. It was years delayed. Since then, it was a huge financial success at first, and literally the last time Bob Iger talked about it, he said, we don't expect to ever make a dime from this park ever again. Wow. So which was the bigger mistake? Nana, start us off.
Oh my God, this
Please
is a
don't
hard.
say anything offensive.
I
please.
try not to. That's why I have to pick my
Don't
words.
offend our communist viewers.
I try not. Well, hey, I don't want to get killed tonight, so, you know, like hard tickets event, like Villains After Hour, that was horrible, right? But then Shanghai Disneyland, I hear so many horror stories about it. But they sell Figment, the little tiny Figment, and I don't want to offend people, but it's a hard decision. But Shanghai Disneyland.
Where's my Figment straw?
You want to go pick it up from my friend that called Eric Papa, or what do you want to do?
Eric,
That's
the guy that calls you Papa picked me up a Figment straw.
No, pick mine.
You're going to have to narrow that down a little bit, Tom.
What'd you say, Papa?
So what are you picking?
Shanghai Disney.
Hallie?
I don't know enough about Shanghai. The hard ticket events is just more of a money
Shanghai
grab.
Disney people gonna pee in the queue line.
I'm not going to Shanghai. It doesn't affect me. Like the hard ticket, the parks close early. Like
People
Oogie
gonna
Boogie Bash
push
is
you in
amazing,
the
but
queue
everything
to go before you.
Nana, please.
No, I don't. They're both gonna lose to the Star Cruiser, so I'll go with the hard ticket event.
Miss Allison.
I think Nana convinced me. I'm going to vote for Shanghai Disneyland.
Because people pee in queues.
Stop saying it. Piano Rob.
I don't think all hard-ticketed events necessarily work properly, like they're not done right, but I think that they are a good offering. You know what you're getting into. You pay a price, you know what you're getting into with the event. I have no problem with these. I'm going to say Shanghai.
Panda.
I was just going to copy exactly what this guy just said. And he's right.
Nick.
I have no problem with hard ticket events in general, but I feel like there might be too many of them. Like, I think just sheer amount. So for that reason, I'm voting for hard ticket events.
I'm voting for Shanghai. I've talked about it enough over time. We don't need to dwell on it. 5-2, Shanghai. All right. Next up, not caring about sight lines or lands. This has been a conversation we've had a lot the last couple of years. There's lots of projects where sight lines were ignored, right? You get on Slinky Dog Dash and you see this big backstage shed from it. And maybe looking the other way, you see the Tower of Terror. But in all of that, they decided the Earful Tower had to be knocked down because it was visible from Toy Story Land. You know, the people talk about the Guardians Gravity Building. People talk about all sorts of things like that. Maybe Guardians Mission Breakout at DCA. You see that behind the Carthay Circle Theater at times. Things of that nature. And then also things not making sense in the lands they're going. And a lot of people have brought up cars going into Frontierland. We've talked about it. Imagineer Paul Osterhout said at the event, the parks have become a mixtape. They've become a mixtape. There's no land integrity anymore. And that's up against the Disney Vacation Club, Disney's timeshare, which started innocently but has slowly began to eat away at the parks. It's a hot topic right now, not only those tower hotels we talked about, not only the ruination of Fort Wilderness, but now we have, they took away the Frontierland Shooting Arcade, and a big giant building in Canada is going to become a sales location. The Hotel du Canada is now a timeshare sales location. The whole building. So what's the bigger mistake, starting Disney Vacation Club or not caring about sight lines or land integrity? Though I think putting a timeshare sales location in the Canada Pavilion might kind of qualify as the ruination of a land, but I don't know. Anyway, Miss Allison.
Oh, I thought I knew what I wanted before. Now I think I'm gonna go with Disney Vacation Club because it kind of irritates me. Like I'm being like trying to be sold more things as I'm trying to enjoy they don't like come after you or anything like that, but it just it's kind of irritates me, like, hey, you want to buy something else? You want to spend thousands more dollars? And I don't know, I just don't like it.
Allie?
I don't like DVC either.
Wow. Not caring about Sightline or Land because between Galaxy's Edge and Toy Story Land in Hollywood Studio, it's horrible. And then if you go to Pixar Plaza, you can see Galaxy's Edge all the way in the back. I don't like that. So.
Nick?
Some of the byproducts you mentioned of DVC are annoying, but like the Sightline thing fundamentally affects your enjoyment of the parks. So that one.
Panda?
Full disclosure, I love my DVC. I stay in rooms that I never would pay for.
Yep.
So it's definitely Sightlines or Lands. How they convinced me about how the bugs fit into the roots of the Tree of Life. And now you're going to put Zootopia animals there. I don't get any of it. So Sightlines and Lands.
This is interesting because DVC has an issue that I don't know if you're people are paying money now to keep it going now. It's like
what do you mean people paying money?
like you're paying money now to build the new projects and to have the stuff, and you're gonna DVC members. So you're gonna have to keep. You're always going to have to keep that going. You're always going to have to build more properties, and I feel like that's going to become a problem in the future with space and land.
They're going to charge me more to build?
I don't think they're going to charge you more. I think that they
okay.
got to keep taking money though from new people to keep up with
Well, that's why we just replace
like
the
Social
old
Security.
stuff in the parks because we have to keep all the other land for DVC hotels.
But now the other thing I'm going to say is I don't care about sightlines as much. I think at some point we're making things bigger. We're in a theme park. You're going to have to expect to see things. The lands bug me. The lands are what bug me.
Okay.
That's what bothers me about every experience is there's no cohesiveness. Studios is the easy example because we keep talking about the identity crisis. You need to have some type of cohesiveness of why you're in what park, what land, why we're doing. So for me, I think that's going to be the bigger immediate issue that affects everybody is the lands.
Did everyone go?
Mm-hmm.
Well, that leaves me. Rob, I will tell you, someday you'll get to go to Disney Sea, and I promise you, you will not see a sightline issue.
Yeah.
They do not exist. And we can go on and on about Epic, how they put colored covers on the HVAC system on the restaurant. You don't see the top of anything in that park. The HVAC may as well not exist at Disney Sea. But anyway, I digress. Man, I want to pick DVC so bad. They ruined Fort Wilderness, and I really want to let them have it. But man, those sight lines bother me more than anything. They use that word immersion every 3 goddamn seconds in a press release. You know what immersion is? It's nothing takes me out. There's not a moment in the experience that removes me from said experience. So it has to be that. It has to be sight lines, and it has to be caring about what is in a land. I can't feel like I'm in a place if anything doesn't fit there, and I can't feel like I'm in that place if something from another place has shown up. So that's 5-2 for sightlines and lands. Last of the quadrant, Disney Quest, both the Orlando location and of course the Chicago one, which only lasted a very short amount of time and then became a big furniture store. And that's against the DAS debacle. I'm not going to read it now. You know what's been going on with DAS. Let's just make it happen. Piano Rob.
Yeah, we'll get into it more, but DAS.
Yeah, I think that's going to. Panda, go ahead.
DAS, it's just a PR nightmare that they didn't need. They could have communicated.
DAS. Nana.
DAS.
Allie.
DAS.
Miss Allison.
DAS.
Yep, 7-0 DAS. Disney Quest, look, building in Chicago, huge mistake, didn't last long. In Disney Quest Orlando, we could argue, people loved it, but people didn't go. They didn't know how to market it, they didn't know how to update it, they didn't know how to get people in the door or make it worth visiting. But DAS is undoubtedly a huge nightmare. All right, that's the quadrant. Eric and Darlene.
What an incredible and electrifying group of mashups there, Darlene. I know you were on the edge of your seat the whole time. How did you even keep it together throughout this? Yeah, you can turn that on.
Listen, I got a lot of questions, and I don't understand why everyone was passing on that last one. Nobody answered it. They just said pass. And I don't know for the life of me which one was chosen.
No, it was DAS. DAS. D-A-S.
Well, that's good.
That is a way for people with disabilities to facilitate riding the rides so they don't have to wait in the line.
So did they get on them or not? I'm still confused as to.
Stay tuned for the exciting conclusion in the next round tomorrow when we talk about that and what happens there. No, it was such a dominant performance, no one even wanted to touch it. They're saving all their good points for tomorrow, darling. You have any other?
We're doing this again tomorrow?
Or today, I don't know what time.
Not yet. We're not there yet.
We're almost there. So it will be tomorrow. We'll continue. And you'll learn more about Daz as we go. I feel like there's a lot more information out there that you need to be aware of.
Clearly.
All right. Couple of scores. There was the tiered levels of guests beats Rivers of Light 4-3. Toy Story Land 5-2 over Hong Kong Disneyland. The most recent Epcot reimagining dominates the old Epcot reimagining 5-2. Another shutout, Spectro Magic over not making a deal with J.K. Rowling. Another shutout, Star Wars Galactic Star Cruiser over the monorail lack of expansion, lack of maintenance. Shanghai Disneyland wins 5-2 over Hard Ticket Events. Not Caring About Sightlines wins 5-2 over DVC. And of course, the Daz debacle defeats Disney Quest and Disney Quest in Chicago.
7-1, there was a super chat.
Was there a super chat?
Just at the end. 7-1.
What got a super chat?
Somebody put my daughter and I loved Chicago Disney Quest,
Disney
$10,
Quest.
John Malcolm.
Okay, so they get 1 point. 7-1.
Any others, or is everything stand?
I think that's it. That's it. That was John Malcolm. Loved
That
it.
everything stands.
Yep, everything stands. Wait a minute. Yep. Yeah, someone super chat, but it's only $5. Tom and Maggie, sightlines are the worst. It started with Eisner building the Swan and Dolphin visible from Epcot, and it breaks everything. All downhill from there. Thank you for your contribution. All right, are we ready to get into this last bracket, Darlene, or do you have any more deep analysis?
I do have a couple more questions here.
Oh, no.
I don't understand why everyone's hating on Toy Story. It's got a giant Woody. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
And you can get a buzz. Yeah, I get it,
And
Darlene.
you can get a buzz, exactly. I don't understand what the issue is. Maybe they were voting for it. It's great. There's also, listen, I took tiered classes in high school. Well. So, I mean, I'm all for tiered classes. They're fantastic.
Which tier were you with?
Generally towards the bottom, but that's okay.
I thought it was going to be the one tattooed by your eye.
No, I didn't get that one. I had to cover that up with makeup. Also, I had some other questions. So this Rivers of Light thing. Is it Rivers of Natty Light?
That would be more entertaining, I think.
I think so. I mean, we also used to line up our trucks on either side of the road after it would rain, and we would just call that Rivers of Light as well. And sometimes it would sparkle when you get that oil slick on there. It looked real nice. You know what I'm saying? All right.
Pretty for the holidays, right?
Yes, exactly. Yeah. See? Also, I too also had a vision of skinny dipping, but at my weight, we just call it dipping. Aww.
I thought dipping is something you put in your mouth.
I put a lot of things in my mouth.
No. I just walked right into that one, didn't I?
So I smoke cigarettes. That's right. Also, I want to know if this Star Cruiser thing just became DVC, would it have stayed?
That's a really good question.
Don't give them ideas, please.
Yeah, darling.
We don't need the villas at Batu, please.
The villas at Batu.
It sounds like a nice getaway from Nam to me. If you
The best kept secret in space.
Are we ready to preview the final round? Please. Here, the final quadrant of the first round.
Yeah, with electrolytes.
You ready?
It's not alcohol.
The final quadrant of the...
There's 4 quadrants. Quad means 4, right? There are 4 quadrants to the bracket. And tonight, we settle the first 32 matchups. We've already done most of them.
So wait a minute. When they're telling me I need to work my quads, I got 4 of them?
Different thing. Please don't show us your quads.
That's an OnlyFans thing, so it's okay right now.
Do you want to plug your OnlyFans while we're here?
That's right. I'm on there as Darlene.
Do you have Dracula's feet on there from Monsters Unchained?
Oh yeah, Dracula's feet. Of course.
You know what? I do.
I've been told that she
Darlene's
has
got it
Dracula's
all.
feet.
That's right. That's right. That's
You
where
know,
I
when
wear
it says
big
Monsters
shoes.
Unchained, it's just referencing his feet.
It's just-
All right.
Those monsters are unchained.
We are going to have the loss of atmospheric entertainment up against Magic Key and Legacy AP. Look, there's a lot of Disneyland stuff that has kind of snuck under the radar on this show, including, I think, the park reservation system, which lost in the first round, but is a much bigger deal at Disneyland than it is here. But the Magic Key replacing the Legacy AP program and all the BS that was associated with that. Then we have Avengers Campus going up against the Western River Expedition, not happening. Promoting Cynthia Harris against the changes to Pirates of the Caribbean. Animal Kingdom cuts, such as Beastly Kingdom, going up against changing Splash Mountain to Tiana's Bayou Adventure. We have the People Mover at Disneyland. This was already touched on earlier in the Rocket Rods discussion. That is going up against the elimination of the Rivers of America at the Magic Kingdom. We have the Earful Tower, or the lack of Earful Tower, against the original Disney's California Adventure, as it was at the time. The 50th anniversary of Walt Disney World will be taking on Magic Bands and My Magic Plus, My Magic Mobile, My Magic, I don't know, all that stuff. The Sorcerer's Hat and Wand going against Bob Chapek, moving into Parks and Resort. In what
Can
is
we just
bound to
call
be the
that
most
one
dominant
now?
performance of this
I
tournament.
have a feeling I know we can cut like 10 minutes off of the show.
Hold on a second. I'm definitely not pulling up the Seminole Hard Rock mobile betting application to put money on any of these matchups. We're going to kick it back down under the rotunda to Tom and his pals.
They're not my pals after tonight. All right. So we got the loss of atmospheric entertainment against the Magic Key and Legacy AP debacle. I want to remind people of the Magic Key thing real quick. Shortly after closing due to COVID, Disney Resort decided to cancel all annual passes. During the time without them, those who once had an AP at the time of cancellation in the app became Legacy pass holders. They were still able to get discounts and such on shopping and dining when they did open while the parks were closed. But in August of 2021, Disneyland Resort introduced Magic Key as the replacement to annual passes. And of course, we talk about the loss of atmospheric entertainment. We're talking about Streetmosphere at Hollywood Studios. We're talking about the Citizens of Main Street at the Magic Kingdom. We're talking about all the bands and acts and things we've lost in places that were not replaced by anything else. And certainly at Walt Disney World, now a bit at Disneyland. We're seeing that a lot at Disneyland Resort now, but more so at Walt Disney World over the last 10 or 15 years, we have seen the loss of a lot of atmospheric entertainment. There used to be, Future World had a band. Like, there used to be so much more entertainment. I would even take goddamn Crystalos, which was the acrobats. Remember the contortionist people in Future World? I used to hate them. At this point, I'd be like, that's nice, it's something there. I don't even know
Excuse me,
anymore.
Tom, are we including the Grand Floridian
Grand Floridian Society Orchestra, absolutely included in that. Yeah.
God, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So, you know what? I'm going to start us off.
I was just
Atmospheric
saying,
entertainment.
even
It's
the-
nonsense.
Those
Nonsense.
guys down at Disney Springs.
Nonsense. Nick.
That was actually one of the first things I thought of when we were doing this bracket is the loss of atmospheric entertainment. So my vote's going that way.
Panda.
Absolutely loss of atmospheric entertainment. It was sometimes the more memorable than an attraction.
Yep.
Yeah.
Piano up.
Theme parks are more than attractions.
I wonder what the piano player's going to pick.
Yeah. Man, but I really need to get into Disneyland as an annual pass holder. No, yeah, it's the entertainment.
Miss Allison.
The same thing, entertainment.
Nana.
I hate Magic Key from bottom of my heart, but I love entertainment, and I miss my trolley in Magic Kingdom. So
Yes.
entertainment.
Oh, the trolley show,
Good
yeah.
morning. Good morning. Was that not the song?
Wasn't that the
No.
welcome show? The old welcome show. Walking right down the
Yeah.
middle of Main Street. You say that was in the trowel.
That one.
Yeah. I do miss the welcome show but that was an operational thing, not a budget cut. Allie.
The Magic Key is not a whole lot different than what the AP was, other than in name. The issue is the
Well,
park
there's, like,
reservations.
yeah, well, that's part of it.
Right.
But
So
also blockout.
Yeah.
More blockout.
I mean, entertainment is the parks.
Yeah, I think we're 7-0 atmospheric entertainment.
7.
Yeah, 7.
No.
All right, Avengers Campus, both of them. the implementation of them and what they are against not building the Western River Expedition at Walt Disney World. For those that don't know, they weren't going to do Pirates of the Caribbean at Magic Kingdom. Mark Davis wanted to do a Western Pirates, but in this giant mega structure, there would have been other attractions, including a runaway train roller coaster, pack mule ride, and much, much more. Miss Allison.
Ooh, I'm going to go with the Western River Expedition.
Allie.
Avengers Campus, it's very disappointing.
Nana.
I love Marvel and I love Avenger Campus, but they killed my Bug's life there. So, and a Heimlich. So Avenger Campus. Is that a Heimlich? Is that a what?
Heimlich, yeah.
Yeah. I know. I love
Yeah, that
him.
was cute.
So Avengers Campus.
I do
Right?
miss Heimlich, yeah. That says something. Like, that was a kiddie land, and those were off-the-shelf rides, but that had a lot of heart.
Oh, he's so
That
good.
had a lot of heart.
They
And the
wrote-
fact that you built a land with the hottest IP. At the time, it's the hottest IP. What? What did you do? Like, what? Oh, people love Iron Man. Let's do nothing with Iron Man. Let's build a Spider-Man ride. Oh, you're going to swing like Spider-Man? No. You're going to sit in a car and go like this for 5 minutes. And it's all on a screen. Oh, are there other attractions? No. No, just that. And then you could stand, if you stand 5 feet away from a building, you could kind of see people on a balcony fighting. Oh, cool.
Not anymore.
Good, you couldn't see it. It's in the worst spot. It's the worst designed building for a show. It's terrible. I'm going with Avengers Campus. What a turd. An absolute turd. The hottest IP on Earth, and you built the dumbest thing imaginable. What do people love about the Avengers? Technology. Nick.
I mean, it's a recurring theme here with a lot of these
Like
things. where
Galaxy's Edge.
It's just disappointing when you have something that feels like a slam dunk. It is, like you said, one of the biggest properties. It was so disappointing to go see it. I mean, the best part about it was the drink cup that the gauntlet. That I
Oh, the
got.
gauntlet.
Like, that was the best part of the land, to be able to buy one of those. Other than that, it was horrible.
I just like the chicken sandwich that's too big for the bun. That's my. I go
that
get
is
that
good.
every time. I love that thing.
It's delicious.
I'm gonna get one this weekend.
And the
They had like a
shawarma.
candy bar dessert, I think.
Oh, that was
Oh,
good too.
chocolate
They got rid of
smash,
it though.
yeah.
They got rid of it.
The
Shawarma?
Shawarma's good.
Shawarma's good
Yeah,
if
they
you
got
get
rid
it
of the
hot.
bar.
You got to watch them roll out
it's a
that
cake
stupid
now.
gray
Oh, I've
little.
never gotten cold.
The gray little. You got to time it. They're bad cold.
Oh, I didn't know
They
that.
roll out the gray little wheelie cart, and you're like, now I'll get one.
Really?
Yeah. Who are we up to? Panda? Is it you?
Yeah.
Avengers Campus, disappointment.
Piano Rob?
I wish I did get to, that Western River. It happened. I would have loved
Yeah.
to see it. But and ironically, really the best thing about Avengers Campus, ironically, is the atmospheric entertainment, which is ironic. But yeah, that's a bigger mistake. I wish they would have put it where Galaxy's Edge is and make a big thing.
Yeah.
And we have Marvel on one coast and Star Wars on the other. So
Yeah.
Avengers Campus.
6-1 Avengers Campus. All right. Cynthia Harris. The time has come to tell the tale of Cynthia Harris, ladies and gentlemen. Cynthia Harris joined the Walt Disney Company in 1992 and held a variety of senior positions, including Senior Vice President of Park Operations at Disneyland and Senior Vice President of Stores for the Disney Store chain. Harris also served as President of Disneyland Resort from 1999 to 2003, where she managed the Disneyland and Disney California Adventure Parks, as well as the resort's hotels and retail operations. She resigned shortly after an incident in September of 2003 that killed a guest on Big Thunder Mountain Railroad. So she's in charge. So Paul Pressler could be blamed for designing DCA. She could be blamed for finishing DCA, opening day DCA. She also could be blamed for murdering someone, technically. Then she was like, I'm going to the Gap too. Bye, everybody. They both went to the Gap. And then they killed the Gap. At least they didn't kill any people. Thank God that no more people had to die from these two idiots. That's up against the changes to Pirates of the Caribbean. Of course, the first major changes in 1997 on both coasts. That's when they changed the scene where the men chased the women to the women chasing the men. And then, of course, in 2017 and 2018 in Paris and Anaheim and Orlando, we once the redhead. We lost the auction scene. And it was replaced with a hen for a 10. Don't you all just go home yelling a hen for a 10 after you ride Pirates of the Caribbean? I love it. It's great. It's amazing. But in fairness, a hen for a 10 never murdered a human being. So it's a tough choice. All right, anyway. Piano Rob, start us off.
I'm not going to go with the original direction I thought I was going to go with it. I'm going to pick the Pirates of the Caribbean changes. And I'm going to tell you why. Because I think it opened the door to we have to tell stories a very certain way. And there are bad people, there are bad characters, there are bad things that happen. And if we're going to make everything in this little perfect box that everything's happy, that we're not going to put our villains on the ride. I know we were talking about Dr. Facilier on Tiana before.
Start me up, yeah.
And I think that is what's sad to me. Let's not open up the door that we have to hold everybody's hand. We can tell a bad story and learn from it rather than pretend it doesn't exist because nobody's learning that way. So I'm picking Pirates changes.
Pam?
Yeah, I was going to go with Cynthia, but now that I heard him, he's right. And it's true. You still got the song, we pillage and plunder it, but you can't do it? I don't understand. Same thing with Tiana, but we'll get into that. Anyhow, yeah, I'm going with the changes to Pirates because it was a slippery slope that we're still on now.
Nick.
All right. I think I'm going with Cynthia just because of the story sounds atrocious.
Yeah.
That seemed like a mistake to keep her around and promote her.
You know, I'd take Cynthia, and she's a piece of garbage. But truly, like Paul Pressler set that in motion, and I still think it's his fault, and she was just kind of following the model. Like, I don't think she cut budgets more. I think they were already cut, and she left them. So I'm not excusing her, but "We Wants the Redhead" was the most iconic line of the most iconic theme park ride of all time. It was the most famous scene. And the whole ride is about the fact that a life of a pirate is not long, and they die, and they don't really live a good life either. Like, they're bad people, and they get what's coming to them, right? Like, the moral of the story, the original chase scene is the pirates are chasing the women, but in the end, this woman's like, she's like, "The hell you are," and she's got the broom, and she's beating the hell out of the guy.
Yeah.
Like, that's not the message, and in the end, they're in the jail, and the jail's burning to the ground. Like, they're not doing well. The town is set ablaze. They didn't win. Like, yeah, they came in and they were bad, and the moral of the story is bad people make bad decisions, and they're going to pay for them. I'm with Rob. I think it's Pirates. They ruined Pirates of the Caribbean. And I cannot wait next week to go on the Tokyo Pirates and see that scene again. I cannot wait. My favorite. Nana, please.
Pirates. I mean, kind of. I feel like Pirate kind of set it off to be super sensitive to everybody, you know.
Yeah.
So be nice to everybody. So we gotta change Splash Mountain. Oh my God, that's. I mean, if you're being sensitive, you can live in the States. You know what I mean?
Don't worry, Splash Mountain's next.
I mean, hey, go to Japan. You can enjoy everything. Woo-hoo. Tokyo Disneyland.
We got Trader Sam. We got the auction
We
scene.
have Trader
We got
Sam's,
Splash
yes.
Mountain.
Yeah, we got
We got it
everything.
all. I can't wait to be
Haunted
offended
Mansion.
next week, man. Oh boy. I'm
Japanese
gonna be
people
so
doesn't
offended
care,
all
so-
over the park.
Yep. Go to Tokyo.
Allie,
Pirates, Rob made a lot of excellent points.
Please.
Miss Allison.
I think I'm gonna go with Cynthia because the same thing with Pressler. When I read more about, I didn't know much about her, and when I read more, I was like, "This is terrible."
Yeah, she's bad. But we wants the redhead. So it's 5-2, Pirates of the Caribbean. All right, next up, oh boy, Animal Kingdom cuts. When Animal Kingdom opened, there were supposed to be more. Kali River Rapids opened as half the ride it was supposed to be. Tiger River Rapids was twice the length. In fact, if you go on Google Maps, look at Kali River Rapids, there's a pad behind it of grass. That's just meant to be the rest of that ride. It's just half the length. And then on the other side of the park, we're supposed to have Beastly Kingdom. There's supposed to be a dragon roller coaster and a unicorn maze attraction and so much more in Beastly Kingdom. That got cut in the last minute. They put in Camp Mini Mickey instead. Nana, why don't you start us off? Oh, and then that's against Splash Mountain being replaced with Tiana's Bayou Adventure. Nana.
Splash Mountain. I miss my Splash Mountain.
Allie. Go to Tokyo, they said. They said back to you what you just said.
We going to Tokyo.
Allie.
I'm going to go with Splash Mountain.
Wow. Miss Allison.
I love the animals. I'm upset that they didn't do more with them, so I'm voting for the Animal Kingdom cuts.
Oh, that could have went either way.
Yeah, it did.
Going down the bayou.
Beastly Kingdom.
Piano Rob.
This is another tough one because I would have liked to seen Beastly Kingdom. You had a thing for a park that never came to fruition. But I'm going with Splash Mountain again for the same thing because you had a ride that was themed perfectly. And it was about, it had a beautiful story about this rabbit outsmarting this fox. It made sense. And we replaced it with a lesser story. And that is my problem. It's not that it's Tiana, it's that the story is not as good.
Panda.
Agree 100%. It's not about Tiana. I would have loved it if we kept the original story with the voodoo guy going up the hill with the transformation station. Are you ready? I don't know why we thought our own villain is a problem. And now they're building Villain's Land. How are they doing this?
$10 says he won't be there.
But every magic is bad then. I mean, pretty soon it'll be.
I think they realized that the gap-toothed voodoo priest was a problem.
But it's still voodoo. The wicked queen
Yeah, but
doing
it
the
still was
poison
a
apple is
stereo-
still
it's a
witchcraft.
stereo- Yeah, but he's a stereotype.
Wait, they're going to get rid of the Haunted Mansion hanging guy because
They
that's
are.
a problem too.
They
Yeah, I
are
know.
going to get rid of it.
So
You're right.
Splash Mountain, it's terrible. The
Nick.
changes are just weird.
I love Animal Kingdom, so I don't really think not doing what they were going to do was a mistake. Well, I guess it was a mistake, but not as big as changing Splash Mountain. And Splash Mountain was one of my all-time favorite attractions, and it is just lesser of a ride at the moment, and a lot of it they said so. I won't reiterate it, but yeah.
Did you draw me on your sheet?
I did.
You draw everything
let's
all
see
over.
it.
You have to show everyone.
I don't know that we have a zoom lens right now. Maybe
we can't
later.
show a bad word on it.
Maybe for when I'm here alone on the post show. Not getting Beastly Kingdom opened the door for entertainment to throw together one of the greatest shows of all time, Festival of the Lion King. And so I think it's the highest testing thing in Animal Kingdom. Its most popular attraction only exists because people were put behind an 8 ball and had to produce. I think that's a great story of how they, down to the wire, came through with something that has endured in that park and is now very clearly untouchable. Like Festival of the Lion King can never be touched. It has to be left. I'm going to go, I don't really want to pick Splash, but I'm going to. It's 6-1 for Splash. All right, the removal of the People Mover at Disneyland or the decision to get rid of the Rivers of America at the Magic Kingdom. Nana Tanaka.
Rivers of America, because we are in the hell of taking picture of each thing from the boat every time we go to Magic Kingdom. So Rivers of America, right,
That has
Allie?
nothing to do with them removing it. Oh, you just don't like it because you have to take Big Thunder
We
pictures
have
from
to
it?
bring a camera every day when you go to Magic Kingdom to take picture of what's going on over there.
Can you believe that at home? That the reporters who take photos have to bring a camera to a theme park?
Right, Allie?
Oh, that must be tough.
It's heavy.
Who
My
thought
shoulder
a
hurts.
job requirement was a camera?
Leave me out of this.
My shoulder hurts, so I have to wear my magnet to make my shoulder feel better.
What
Worker compensation.
magnet?
This thing.
That's for your
Yeah,
shoulder?
like Japanese
What
people.
voodoo magic is that?
Japanese people voodoo
Did
magic.
a voodoo priest sell you that?
In Frontierland?
In Frontierland.
Tokyo Disneyland.
All right, Allie.
Wait, what did you pick?
She picked Rivers of America
Oh.
because she hates riding the riverboat with the camera she has to carry because
But that's
she
a
takes
Thunder Mountain
photographs
problem.
for a
That's not a
living.
Rivers of America problem.
That's gonna happen. That's gonna happen too soon. As
But then
soon
you don't
as-
have to go on the boat
no,
anymore.
No. As soon as they will say like, "Oh, we're gonna close it," you know what does that
You
mean?
know where you have to go then? The treehouse. You'll have to walk up all those stairs.
I already lived this hell at Disneyland last year.
Where's Figment, Jesus? I need Figment.
Okay,
Allie,
aside from the reporting part of this, both are sad, but I think the Rivers of America is a bigger loss.
Miss Allison.
Oh goodness. I'm gonna go with People Mover. People Mover's close to my heart, even if it's in Disneyland.
I'm also going with People Mover. It's a big empty track at Disneyland. It's an eyesore. People talk about it a lot. The Rivers of America, at the end of the day, is not being left, it's not just being closed to sit there. Like, they're building an expensive new attraction there that's never been done before.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sorry, the People Mover's the bigger mistake. There's nothing there. It's just a giant track, and then all that space above the Autopia that's just abandoned, trees growing into it. Nick?
Yeah, I'm along the same lines. I'm excited for what they're closing Rivers of America for, and like you said, they're closing it to do something pretty cool with that space. So I'm gonna vote for People Mover.
Panda?
I'm going to miss Rivers, but I want to see this Cars ride. I'm going for People Mover.
Rob?
And the rivers are nicer at Disneyland.
They're nicer at every other park.
Yeah, there you go. And for that reason, I agree. I think the People Mover.
All right, 5-2, People Mover.
Yeah, everybody.
Here come the Super Chads. Earful Tower being removed against the opening day version of Disney's, the decision to build a park about California in California and make it that bad. Panda, you're shaking your head. Why don't you lead us off?
Exactly what you just said. I'll make it quick. DCA. I don't understand why you built it in California.
Rob.
I, as a backlot tour guide, have an obligation to pick the Earful Tower, and it was just another icon of that park. They've destroyed every real icon of that park.
Yeah.
So Earful Tower.
Nick?
I mean, the tower, because they really didn't have to do it, right? I mean, they didn't have to completely destroy it and tear it down. So definitely the tower.
Nana?
This is tough decision to make. I love DCA, even though the opening was not great, but still now we still have DCA. So DCA is not going to be a mistake. But I hate that people took my Earful Tower from there, so Earful Tower.
Allie?
DCA, because we could have had Westcott.
Miss Allison?
Yeah, the original DCA was bad. Let's vote for that one.
I'm the tiebreaker here. You know, I love the Earful Tower. I miss it very dearly. But I will say this. From the people who are working on Westcott who have been in this building and who we talked to and said it was going to be bad. You know, I don't know that it was going to be much better. So, but I will tell you, DCA was an embarrassment. Like, as a Disney fan, you look at that and you're like, how did that happen? How did any of that happen? I got to go with DCA as much as I think the Earful Tower was a huge mistake to remove.
Oh.
4-3 for original DCA. The Walt Disney World 50th anniversary. Who remembers that? Disney Enchantment. Ooh. Wow. Harmonious. Yeah. Remy's Ratatouille Adventure opened. Hooray.
Everybody
What else? Oh, Kite Tails. Woo.
Why is that not on here?
50 gold statues that you wave at. Yay.
I like the statues.
What did studios do? Oh, the projections on the Tower of Terror. Yay. Did they get anything else at studios? What did they have? What turned out okay? Oh, the Beacons of Magic?
Oh.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, Spaceship Earth got the tap
That's
lights.
right, the beacons.
That's all right. My favorite thing, though, was the electrical water pageant update. That was I love that.
God.
But yeah, the rest of that, though, you know. And that's up against all that iridescent garbage. Oh. But the Vault collection.
Oh.
Vault collection. Can you count Cinderella Castle being repainted? Cinderella Castle repainted? Yeah, I'd throw that in there. Absolutely. 50th anniversary, the gift that keeps on giving. And then that's up against Magic Bands and My Magic Plus. That whole rollout, getting rid of tickets for Magic Bands and all the things that come with the Magic Band. What was the bigger mistake? Miss Alice.
I remember planning this with Lucas, like when we basically first got together. We're like, okay, year and a half from now, we're booking like park-themed view, contemporary. We're gonna splurge. It's gonna be amazing. And then like it happened, and it was just such trash. And it was one of the biggest disappointments.
Allie.
I like the Magic Bands, but all I hear, I mean, I was here for some of the 50th, but just what a crap show that was on the opening day. And such a disappointment. So, 50th?
No.
Is this Magic Band talking about the plus? Like
No, just Magic Bands in general. The decision to start Magic Bands.
I like them.
And the whole My Magic Plus experience.
This is the toughest decision.
Tap
I know
styles,
people.
interactive rides.
People hate 50th anniversary, but hey, they had a pandemic before that, so we couldn't get much entertainment. I love
Nana,
the
what
song.
more do you think they were gonna do?
Well, I was hoping
There
they
was a
could-
different Move It, Shake It that got budget cut. That was about it.
But I was hoping for Night Parade. I thought they was
We
bringing
were
it
not
back
getting a
to
night
EP.
parade. It was never planned. Wasn't happening.
I love 50s, but I guess people say 50s, so I guess we'll 50s.
Nick.
Yeah, the 50th was one of the most disappointing, anniversaries. It was horrible.
Yeah.
It was just you look forward to it for years, and then it came. And
50
it
of
was
them.
Really? That's it?
Legitimately, I look forward to our 50th from God, I think from the 25th. I think even as a kid, I was like, wow, what'll that be
Wouldn't it
like?
be so cool? Yeah.
And then if I could talk to my future self, I'd just disappointing. Enjoy this. It's good right now, and it will never be again.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Were you there October 1st on the 25th?
For the 25th? Yeah.
Is it my turn?
Yeah, go ahead.
I was there. You couldn't, do you remember you couldn't look 2 steps without seeing a celebrity?
Yeah.
The amount of, every character that there was came down Main Street. The
Hillary
marching
Clinton
band,
was there. Yeah.
with her daughter, and they all joked around that it was goofy, but it wasn't. It was Chelsea. And I didn't say it, other people did. That's what they said to me that day. They did. But it was a great thing. I got to talk to Roy for 5 minutes.
Roy
the
who?
nephew. Roy Disney. So I thought the 50th was going to be something.
Yeah.
Nothing.
No, for the media the night before, Bob Chapek and Bob Iger
Do you
flipped
remember
the
that?
switch.
Do you remember that kind of?
And I remember I cursed in front of our audience that was here that night as that happened and said, this is bullshit. And then I remember my favorite thing was October 1st, the morning. Everyone, we knew it was just a new welcome show. We knew that. And everyone thought something was going to happen. And I stood there. I smiled the whole way. That opening show came to an end, and I just go, here we go. And everyone looks at each other and goes,
that was it?
What? There's no ceremony or anything? Like, no
nothing.
one, what? Huh?
But you remember at 3 o'clock, a small announcement was made? Because
The Melissa Valaquette announcement ahead of the cavalcade. Today we celebrate 50 years. Woo!
That was it?
Yeah. The only highlight I have from that day was the Mr. Toad hamburger.
Oh, I remember that.
That was the first thing we did. We saw that crappy. I like the welcome show. I like the song. I know people hate the song. I like the 50th song.
I love
The
everything.
magic is calling.
That's right. He's always said that. He had me learn it.
I like the theme song.
I
I'm
didn't
a
like
sucker
it.
for Disney theme song.
We had this talk on
But
another week.
yeah,
Bob
then we
was
went
there.
Friar's Nook, and I sat and ate my Mr. Toad burger, and I smiled the whole time. I loved it. That was about it, though. Piano Rob.
I like Magic Bands. They grew on me. I think they work well. They're a good thing to have. The 50th was not enough of a celebration for this place at all.
Aww.
For Walt's last great dream. I will tell you, I'm a little jaded, though. We're a little biased towards the 50th because we had the Golden Jamboree, which is one of my favorite things we've ever done. But ananyway.
That was great.
That's going to be 7-0, the Walt Disney World 50th.
Sad.
Final match of the night. Here we go. It's the Sorcerer's Hat at Disney MGM Studios and the wand that was erected over the side of Spaceship Earth against Bob Chapek, being made to head Disney Parks and Resorts.
Well, Darlene, that was an exciting bracket.
Piano Rob.
I want you to know I really do hate the hat and the wand.
Who doesn't?
I hate the hat and the wand.
But
Get it. You guys know what you're talking about. Now, see, this is the problem. Is now people love. I will never forget. We broke the story. We got to put it out first that the hat was coming down. I was like, finally, the entire community will be united that we finally got rid of the hat. And people immediately, I love the hat.
Well, I'll tell you what.
The hat is beautiful.
I realized that was an age
I have memories
thing.
of buying pins in the hat.
Yeah. On my college program, I realized that was an age thing, and people younger than me, if they grew up with that hat, to me it was just this beautiful courtyard that you could see the Chinese theater, and it was taken away. But I mean, that being said, we have not had a person that's this type of. I mean, come on, he could run the country the way he was, kind of. I'm sorry, yeah, it's Bob Chapek.
Panda.
Bob Chapek.
Nick.
Bob Chapek wasn't that bad. We'll look back at him years from now fondly.
He's misunderstood.
He created lots of content for our show. He is not a mistake. I am voting for the Sorcerer Hat and Wand.
Oh my God. Nick, you'll have to find a fill-in for you tomorrow.
He's going to be sleeping in the match.
Miss Allison, that's all he wanted to get out of this. That was it. It was a ploy to get out of this. Miss Allison.
JPEG.
Nana.
Nana loved the Sorcerer Hat and Wand. I loved it. I mean, that was pretty, but people didn't like it. But,
Pretty bad.
but I don't like Bob Paycheck anyway, so Bob Paycheck.
Allie?
I want to live, Bob.
Which one will I pick? A hat and a wand, or a man who had it out to ruin my life?
I like the score.
I'm going to go with Bob Chapek, or Paycheck, whatever you want to call him. I'll talk more about him tomorrow, I'm sure, when I have to defend why he's the worst moment. He is the moment. That's it. Eric, please.
Well, Darlene, there you have it. The conclusion of our first round. The 64 teams have been whittled down to only 32. How exciting. If I had known that was going to last almost 4 hours, I don't know. I don't know that I can write that much more ticker than already exists, but we might have cycled through it a few times. I don't think I'll have time to make it too much longer before tomorrow. What do you think?
I think I should have waited to drink the beer till I was on the show and not before it, because I'm running out of steam right now. I could use another Natty Light personally. It's just me.
Is there any left in your hair roller?
No, I tried that too. It just
Oh, yeah.
There got a little something. There it goes. Can't say I didn't give you nothing now.
Exciting matchups as always. The loss of atmospheric entertainment wins in a blowout over Magic Key and Legacy AP. Another blowout. That one was 7-0. Nothing's been flipped by a super chat yet. Avengers Campus 6-1 over not ever having the Western River Expedition. Then we have Pirates of the Caribbean changes beats Cynthia Harris, which would be an interesting image, I think. Splash Mountain and Tiana's Bayou Adventure, becoming Tiana's Bayou Adventure, defeats Animal Kingdom Cuts, the Cuts that eliminated Beastly Kingdom. The People Mover at Disneyland defeats the Rivers of America, going away here at Magic Kingdom. The closest matchup was a 4-3. Original DCA edges out the demolition of the Earful Tower. And then we have a couple blowouts. 7-0. The Walt Disney World 50th anniversary over Magic Bands, My Magic Plus, and Bob Chapek being put in charge of Parks and Resorts beats the Sorcerer Hat and Wand. We haven't even gotten to him being CEO yet. Is that another matchup, or are we just saying Bob Chapek in
That
general?
was the beginning, so we just put that as the moment, right? Because that's what made him CEO. So
we go to Darlene for some deep analysis on this.
Listen, I just want everyone to know that I've also been told that I bring a lot of atmosphere to a room. So it was nice to get acknowledged when they voted 7-0 for me. That was real nice of them.
Congratulations on that.
Thank you very much. Also, I've been made aware this evening that when all those signs places say mind the gap, it might be because of Harris and Presley.
Pressler.
Yeah, that guy too.
They can both
I
shake
think
it.
Elvis had a song about it. I think so. But yeah, so Mind the Gap is a nice warning about them. I feel also it was a missed moment when they got rid of We Wants the Redhead to not put in We Wants the Red Hen because they're selling chicken. And that would have been.
Marketing opportunity.
She's joking, but she's right. It's what it should have been.
We wants the red hen, yeah.
If you had to get rid of it,
Like, why not just, it's an easy fix. We wants the red hen. Make it happen, people. That's all I'm saying here. All right, and then also, a little bit of a fun fact. That woman chasing the man, and that last scene is actually based off my grandmother. I'd like to give a shout out to her tonight. Otherwise, I would not be here.
What is your grandmother's
evening.
name? You can give her a shout out.
It's also Darlene. It's a family name, but she pronounced it more like Darlene. I'm Darlene. So
Yeah, that
I
makes
just wanted
sense.
to- yeah. Also, I wanted to know Beastly Kingdom. Is that Gatorland?
Gatorland's a different place. Didn't you used to live at Gatorland? And you?
I did. I had to fight for my food every evening, but I won most of the time.
What happened when you lost?
One of my kids went hungry, but that's okay. I had plenty of them, so we are good. Turns out I could still make more, so there you go.
Darlene, everyone.
I don't know why they're booing that. I'm not that old.
We are not done. We have 32 teams. We got to whittle down to one great champion tomorrow, 8 p.m. Right here
can
on
I
today.
Can I
Today.
just
today at around 8 p.m.
Can I make a prediction
Sure, let's make your prediction.
that J-Peck may make it to the finals? That's all I got.
Exhilarating Insight by Darlene.
Thank
We'll send it back to you for signing off, Tom.
It was Chapek all along, and this time Chapek could go all the way. Find out. Real quick, I wanted to note, we are not having a post show tonight. What do you mean, aw? I got a pack. I got a 6 a.m. flight Friday, please. Anyway, also, we got to be back here at 8 o'clock tomorrow, and the staff has worked very hard today. I'd like to get people home. So we're going to do that, let people get a good night's sleep, because we got a long night ahead tomorrow when we wrap this all up. I want to thank the panel. I want to thank Darlene and her grandma, Darlene.
Darlene, that's right.
And Eric and Kevin, wherever he is. I think he's been canceled now, so I don't know who we're going to have do it tomorrow. For the retarring of our parking lot. Anywho. All right, that is going to do it. We'll see you all tomorrow night at 8 o'clock. We'll see you then.
Bless my soul, Herc is on a roll, a person of the week in every Greek opinion poll. What a pro, Herc could stop a show, going a man a creature, and we're talking SRO. He was a no one, a 0-0, now he's a hot shot, he's a hero. He was a kid with his act down pat, 0 to hero in no time flat, 0 to hero just like that. When he smiled, the girl went bowing, and do's and dies. They slapped his face on every face and every vase. From appearance fees to royal seas, all her cat cash to burn. Now nouveau riche and famous, and he could tell you about the Gratianers. Say amen, here he goes again, swinging undefeated and a perfect 10 for 10. Folks line up just to watch him flex, with a perfect package and a pair of perfect vicks.